He's got room! The road to Johnson City began earlier this afternoon, but today it continues in Game 2 of the NJCAA Region 19 Final Four tournament. Today, it's the Camden County Cougars facing off against the Brookdale Jersey Blues here at the Camden Athletic Complex in Camden, New Jersey. Hello, everybody. I'm Dan Wilkins. What a game we had just witnessed. Middlesex, for the third time this season, upended the Rowan College Roadrunners by a score of 13-5. They beat them twice in the regular season, and now the Roadrunners will have to stick around for maybe 3 hours or more as Camden, the 6th seed, who upended Cumberland in the first round, will have their chance to advance into Friday's continuing winners bracket. The loser of this game faces RCSJ Gloucester. The winner of this game will play Middlesex on Saturday at noon. Brookdale taking the field. It's going to be a fun one. These two met in the regular season, obviously in Region 19 with Brookdale having the advantage, but I'll tell you, it feels like now that Middlesex beat RCSJ, nothing is guaranteed, and whoever wins this game is going to have a tough opponent over at Middlesex. All games here in the Region 19 Final Four are going to be covered on Dan Wilkins Broadcasting. Game 3 of today's coverage, the losing bracket, that'll be scheduled for about 6 p.m., but you can expect it to be a little bit later than that. We'll see 3 games on Saturday, and then the championship games, 1 on Saturday and a second, if needed, right after. Your starting pitcher for the Brookdale Jersey Blues is going to be Gary John Perrone. The left-hander, donning the number 3, comes into this game with 47 and a third innings. A 5.13 ERA. He has walked a lot of batters, 47 to be specific, and he struck out 52. But he's at a 5.13 ERA and a 1.79 whip. So if there's any lessons to be learned from Game 1, it's save your pitching, because that's what Nick Anderson did well for Middlesex in the first game of this triple-header, as he threw 119 pitches across 7 and a third innings, and he got the win. Gave up 5 runs, 9 hits, and he was batted around a little bit, but he didn't give up his heart, and he didn't let off the gas pedal, as he only struck out 1 batter, had 1 hit by pitch, and no walks. It's your starting lineup for the Camden County Cougars, led by third-year head coach John Scanzano. It's Chase Conway in right field batting leadoff, Ian Monteith in left batting second, Chase Renteria is the DH batting third. In the 4 slot, it'll be Winston Yates at first base. Billy Bentliff takes the center field position in the 5 slot. Colin Thompson at second base, batting second. At second, batting sixth. Cole Hudson is at the hot corner. He bats 7th. Aiden Milligan, the catcher, bats 8th behind the plate. And Matt DiMatteo is the shortstop, batting 9th. Nick Mokienko is the pitcher in today's game. The first pitch is a strike called on the outside corner. First pitch at 3:34 p.m. as it's 0-1 to Chase Conway. Conway gets a foul back, gets a piece of Ryan Adams, and it's 0-2. Conway, a sophomore out of Timber Creek. 336 average, 1 home run, 24 RBIs, and 29 stolen bases. So if he gets on base, Ryan Adams will have to keep his head on a swivel for this leadoff man, as that one's away. Gary Perrone tried to set up the breaking ball away, didn't get it there, and it's 1-2. Conway, Monteith, and Renteria, the first 3 for Camden in the top half of the first inning. Perrone, the 1-2. Fastball, tipped foul again. Camden, as we said, beat RC Cumberland in both of their in both of their Region 19 first round games to make it as the 6th seed into this Final Four. The 1-2, fastball away. Didn't bite that time, and it's 2-2. Camden beat Cumberland 12-2 in Game 1 and 5-4 in Game 2 to punch their ticket to the Final Four, and now they'll look to go maybe as far as Salem did in last year's tournament as the lowest seed. That one's away, and it's 3-2. Biggest thing here for Gary Perrone is he's walked 47 batters this year. You had an 0-2 count. You had a lot of things going for you. You cannot afford to give up a walk on the first out of the inning, as that one's fouled back. And not only that, the first out of the game. But John Scanzano's turned around this program at Camden County. When he took over in 2023 after leaving as the head coach at King's Christian Academy, which is in Cherry Hill, New Jersey, Camden only had 4 players. He brought in 10 more, and their first season that they played as a club and won 8 games. So none of their games from 2023 counted. Their first full season was 2024, and they've been getting steadily better every single year. And needless to say, they have brought baseball back to Blackwood. As that one is strike 3 called. Conway disagreed with it, but Gary John Perrone gets the lower half of the strike zone and picks up the strikeout, as this will bring up Ian Monteith.
Now batting number 9, Ian Monteith.
So here's Monteith in the 2 slot for Camden. Monteith, another sophomore out of Kingsway. Strike called. The left fielder batting .417 this year, 5 home runs, 51 RBIs. And if you thought Conway was nice with his 29 stolen bases, Monteith 38, as that one's low. This ball is skied foul back behind us, and it's 1-1. One-two misses. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Monteith. Two balls, 2 strikes from Perrone. Up and out. And for the second at-bat in a row, we start with a 48 stolen bases. Got to be worried about him trying to swipe a bag. As that one misses away, 1-0. Showing bunt, but pulling back. It's 2-0. So a strikeout looking and a base hit. Pulling back on the bunt, this time unsuccessfully. It's 2-1. Lefty-lefty matchup here. Renteria out of Maple Shade High School. They've certainly had some good years. I think they're over 500 this year. High School. They've certainly had some good years. I think they're over 500 this year, but they just beat Pennsauken, one of the hottest underdog teams in South Jersey this year. Beat them yesterday. The sophomore batting .352, 2 homers, 32 RBIs, and 17 stolen bases. There's a swing and a miss. 2 strikeouts for Gary Perrone. And Yates, Winston Yates, the first baseman, will bat in the 4 slot.
Next up, number 24, Winston Yates.
So a strikeout looking and a strikeout swinging, and we've got a runner on first here for Camden with Yates. First pitch. Outside corner, called a strike. 0-1. Yates, a class of 2023 player out of Morristown, taps this one over to second base. Picked up, throw to first is in time, and the inning is over. 4-3 ground out completed by Ryan Tan, and Camden leaves the runner on with no runs scored. Through a half inning, Brookdale will grab the bats in a scoreless game. Nick Mokienko is the starter for Camden County. The right-hander, a sub-2 ERA, 1.78 mark, 60 and 2/3 innings, 14 walks, 72 Ks, 0.94 WHIP. As he comes into this game looking pretty good so far, but we'll see how he handles versus the 900-win head coach, Johnny Johnson. He's been at many different places, Bloomfield College, Red Bank Catholic, a lot of different places, but the place where he has called home for many years and at this point many decades has been the Brookdale Jersey Blues, as they'll throw it down to second. Your starting lineup for Brookdale: Ray Mulhern is the center fielder, followed by Dawson Smale, the shortstop. Nico Marabo, a former RCSJ Roadrunner who transferred to the home of the Jersey Blues last season. He bats in the left field spot, batting third. Gabe Tomei is the DH, batting fourth. Anthony Pizzuti is the third baseman, batting fifth. Ryan Adams, the catcher, bats sixth. Tom Diffley, the first baseman, in the seventh slot. Casey Gardner is the right fielder, batting eighth. And Ryan Tan, your second baseman, in the ninth slot. Bottom of the first inning, mostly clouds here as we start game two, 65 degrees in Camden. As standing right on the edge of the box is Ray Mulhern. He'll take a strike on the inside half, 0-1. Mulhern, a sophomore out of Southern Regional in Manahawkin in Ocean County. Misses outside, 1-1. 460 average for Mulhern this year, 1 home run, 46 RBI, and 37 stolen bases, one behind Ian Monteith for Camden County. One ball, one strike for Mokienko. This ball's fouled back out towards Delaware Street, and it's 1-2. In the on-deck circle will be Dawson Smale out of Clarion, Pennsylvania, the 6'2" freshman. This is our first time seeing Brookdale this year on Dan Wilkins Broadcasting. We saw Camden earlier in the season versus RCSJ in a game that was a 5-1 victory for the Roadrunners. As the 1-2. Line drive, gets it off the end of the bat, and that'll go into center field. A base hit, Ray Mulhern. He'll round first. Some quick legs there for Ray Mulhern. I don't know what energy drink he had this morning, but he is fired up for that base hit to lead off the inning. And it'll be Dawson Smale now, the batter for the Jersey Blues.
Next up for Brookdale's number 7, Dawson Smale.
Smale batting .524 this year, 4 home runs, 55 RBIs, and 22 stolen bases. So don't be surprised if both of these teams will run a lot. I think that goes without saying. Nationally, Camden is third in stolen bases. They are just one of 3 clubs that has stolen 200 or more stolen bases, and Camden has actually stolen 200 exactly, as that one missed away. 1 ball, no strikes. Brookdale is 25th nationally at 112, but your top 5, Salem stole the most bases nationally at 263. Northern Essex stole 225. Camden has 200 exactly. 4th is Dallas Eastfield at 192. Jefferson Community College with 180. And 6, 7, and 8 will close out with that. Dallas Brookhaven at 168. Monroe Bronx at 167. And RCSJ Cumberland at 164. Blooped into left field by Smale. Tough play for Monteith. He's not going to get there. That's a base hit. And back-to-back singles here get the offensive train running for the Jersey Blues in the bottom of the first inning, bringing up Nico Marabo. Marabo, as we said, spent his freshman season with the RCSJ Roadrunners, but transferred after his freshman year.
Next batter's number 10, Nico Marabo.
Considering he's a Shore Conference guy, probably made a little bit more sense geographically to join the Jersey Blues. He's a product of Brick Memorial. .453 hitter, 2 home runs, 48 RBIs, 13 stolen bases. He scored 67 runs and has accrued 107 total bases this season, as there's a strike called. So 2 runners on after 2 base hits, neither of which were easy. Mulhern's shot was off the end of the bat and just poked up the middle, and then that one off the bat of Smale was another Shallow fly ball, as this one is anything but that in the left center field. That'll get down. This is going to split Monteith, and that will get bobbled. It'll go into left center field. Here comes Smale on his horse around third. 2-run score, 2-run double, 3 straight hits. And Brookdale jumps out to a 2-0 lead as Nico Marabo with a double out to left center field. And the Jersey Blues lead this one 2-0. Very quick and a very hot start. Mulhern and Smale came in that time. Smale coming in from first base.
Now batting number 28.
So it'll be Tomei. Batting in the 4 slot for the Jersey Blues. Tomei, a product also of Southern Regional and Manahawkin, as there's a strike called. Tomei, 493 hitter, 3 home runs, 28 RBIs, and 37 runs scored. As this ball is poked past Mokienko, tough play for DiMatteo, throw to first, gets away, throws it away. Down the right field line, a flailing throw to the plate, not in time. Marabo scores, and it's a 3-0 game. And not only that, but on his horse, Tomei got to second base, and it's now 3-0 Brookdale. How about that? It'll be a throwing error on the second baseman, Thompson. Colin Thompson. It scores Marabo. A strong effort by the first baseman in Winston Yates. But now Camden will have to talk things over as they've given up 3 runs before they can record an out. And the batter will now be Anthony Pizzuti. Nobody out. Runner on, 3 runs home. Strike called. Nice breaking ball by Mokienko. Pizzuti of Lyndhurst, New Jersey, up north. 432 average, 4 home runs, 65 RBIs as this ball's popped up. Now towards the right field side. It's out of play. Looking at the national batting average leaders, Brookdale leads the nation in batting average in Division III at 422. Hudson Valley just behind them at 403. Well, not just behind them, they're 19 percentage points behind. Rowan Gloucester is at 402. SUNY Niagara, at 399. Monroe Bronx 386. Herkimer 365. Northampton 354. Middlesex, who played in the last game, is 9th nationally. And Camden is 21st nationally with a 325 mark. Mokienko looks back at second, and the 1-2 to Pizzuti. Change up, swing and a miss. Big time swing there, but that is one step towards getting back in the right direction as Ryan Adams will be the batter for Brookdale.
Now batting number 22, Ryan Adams.
So Adams, the catcher. One away, runner on second, and Adams takes outside. But Adams is going to try to be lucky now and get a 4th run home in the inning for Brookdale. Product of West Babylon, New York. The strike is called. 355 average, 9 home runs, 48 RBIs, 6 stolen bases for the catcher. West Babylon, 107 miles from here in Suffolk County, right on Long Island. Southern Long Island towards the Bay Shore and towards, I'd say, like center Long Island as a pop-up third base side. This one is up there and out of play. One ball, 2 strikes. In the on-deck circle will be Tom Diffley for Brookdale. Brookdale in their white jersey tops. Camden in their navy blue road alternate jerseys. And I believe they also share these as a home top sometimes as well. The 1-2. Chopper rolled over to first base. Picked up, going back to tag the bag. will be the first baseman in Yates. And it moves the runner over to third, out number 2. And even though that's an out, that's still a productive piece of hitting. I mean, you gotta figure, if you're Camden, yeah, you move that runner over, but that runner was probably going to move in one way or another if the ball gets put in play. So you get the out. Now you've got a chance to face Diffley. You don't have to worry about a sac fly with 2 outs. You just have to worry about getting the batter out. Strike called, 0-1 to Diffley. But after the 4 straight balls put in play, 3 hits and an error, Camden has now responded with 2 outs of their own, a strikeout to Bizzuti, and a 3 unassisted for Ryan Adams. Inside, 1-1. Diffley out of Colts Neck High School in Freehold, 373 average, 1 homer, 28 RBIs. Outside. I can tell you that slide that Aiden Milligan did is not as easy to do on grass as he just did there on turf. That was very fluid what he was able to do. But I'm sure that's not as easy back on their home field in Blackwood. Here's the 2-1. This ball's jammed out towards left field. Backpedaling, this could be trouble, and coming in to make the play. Strong catch by the shortstop Matt DiMatteo as he splits the triangle to make the play and end the inning. But 3 hits for Brookdale bring home 3 runs, and through 1, the Jersey Blues lead the Cougars by a score of 3-0.
May is Mental Health Awareness Month. It is the responsibility of all of us to make sure that our friends, family, and anybody who we hold dear in our lives is feeling well. The problem with spotting mental health issues is that the symptoms aren't that obvious. Just because someone is okay or appears okay on the outside doesn't mean that they're okay on the inside. It's important that if they are in distress, that they call the right people and they get the help that they need. And it is very important that we treat each other with respect, regardless of who you are or where you come from. But it is just as important that we treat ourselves with respect, regardless of the situation going on in our lives. If you're in distress, you can call this number, 988, or you can visit any of these websites if you're not in distress, but would like to learn more information about mental health awareness and research.
Welcome back, top of the second inning. Wind picking up a little bit more than it usually does. Well, I shouldn't say more than it usually does. More than it was at the start of the day. Because the wind is always tough here at Rutgers-Camden, whether or not it's a Rutgers-Camden baseball game or even in the summer. But I can tell you the breeze we're feeling right now is a lot better than when you're feeling that kind of breeze and it's 40 degrees outside in the middle of February. 5, 6, and 7 for Camden, leading off with Billy Bentliff, the center fielder. It'll be Bentliff, Colin Thompson, and Cole Hudson. In the top of the second as Brookdale plated 3 runs. So they lead this one 3-0. 3 runs, 3 hits, 1 error by Camden. Gary Perrone misses outside, 2-1. Bentliff, the sophomore out of Eastern. This ball's hit into right field. This one's down the line. He stumbled out of the box, and that's foul by a hair. Couldn't pick up any chalk that time as it missed by a foot or two to the right, down into the right field corner, and it's 2-2. Bentliff in his sophomore season batting .257, 2 home runs, 40 RBIs, and 33 stolen bases. So again, you're going to see a lot of unique numbers with Camden's stolen base usage, considering that they're 3rd in the nation and have stolen 200 bases. As that one's low, 3-2. Got through the legs of Ryan Adams, but he's able to pick that one up. The good thing about playing on turf is you don't have to worry about the ball getting scuffed up as much with you're not having to deal with dirt clumps sticking to the baseball as a lot of players do at the high school level. As the 3-2, Bentliff lines it in the left field, a base hit. Billy Bentliff gets Camden's second hit off of Gary Perrone III. And it'll be Colin Thompson, the shortstop, now to bat, or pardon, the second baseman to bat here for Camden.
Now batting, second baseman number 7, Colin Thompson.
Thompson, a freshman, batting .354 this year, 26 stolen bases, 44 RBIs. Throw back to first, runners back in standing. Thompson, a product of Ocean City High School. A career .354 hitter in high school with 81 hits and a .454 slugging percentage. That Ocean City team last year was quite good in the Cape Atlantic American. Even though they went 4-8, they really found a way to get themselves through. They were the 9 seed, but they upset Cherry Hill West and Mainland to make it to the South Jersey Group 3 semifinal, and Thompson was a big part of that. Thompson not letting any secrets through with that bunt as it's 1-1. Was able to take the strike. Runner trailing off of first, and now he'll back up. Curveball misses. It's all about the intimidation. I mean, even if Bentliff doesn't go, you have to imagine that the intent is there to get in the head of Gary John Perone and just try to give him trouble as this ball's flied into center field. This could be a tough play. Going in, he might have misjudged it, and he comes in to make the play. So Ray Mulhern, who originally took a step back, had to overcorrect, and he makes the catch to retire Colin Thompson for out number 1, and it'll be Cole Hudson in the 7 slot for Camden. Johnny Johnson coming out of the dugout as always to command his players in defensive shifts, specifically with Mulhern and the right fielder in Gardner. Throw back to first, not in time. This is Camden's first appearance in the Region 19 Final Four since 2013. The only team in this tournament that has not won a region title is Middlesex. RCSJ has won it 26 times, and the team in second place is Brookdale with 3, including 1 last year. It's a swing and a miss, 1-1. Camden won theirs in 1997. And as we said, Middlesex has not won yet in Region 19. The 1-1. Runners outside, throw to second. This throw looks good. He got him. Ryan Adams sent that ball pretty far, and he ends up getting the out as he retires Bentliff on the stolen base attempt. That was a darn good throw. I mean, that was just straight down the middle, no doubt. I think it might have taken like a short hop or something, but he ended up getting in there without any issue. Grounder foul, and it's 3-2. In the bottom of the second for the Jersey Blues, it'll be 8-9-1, Gardner, Tan, and Mulhern. But Camden now with their second base hit stricken away as that one's fouled. As Adams threw him out. And that might be a precedent setter for the rest of the game. Again, Camden has stolen 200 bases this year, but not to be rude, but how many of those stolen bases came against teams with weak catchers? Because there's only 8 teams in the Region 19 tournament that have, or pardon, in the Region 19 bracket that were over 500. So if you break it down, you know, how many of those stolen bases came against a team like Delaware County or Atlantic Cape or Union? You know, are you running up the numbers, or are you playing the game consistently in that regard? But Camden might be more hesitant to run now that their first attempt got denied by Ryan Adams. There's a swing and a miss. You also have to remember that that ball is going to bounce very well on the turf. It's just going to skip like a rock on a lake. So we'll see if Camden decides to take a risk, but for now, they're holding steady as it's 1-1. After Hudson picked up the free pass, Aiden Milligan, the catcher, is the batter now in the 8 slot. 1-1 count, 3-0 game. Adams looks back at first, nothing there, and it's 2-1. After him would be Matt DiMatteo, the shortstop, hailing from Haddon Heights. Milligan, a freshman, .333 average, 16 RBIs, no homers, but 9 stolen bases, and that's high. 3 balls, 1 strike. Milligan, a product of Morristown. As the 3-1 is a strike called. I mean, some of those Morristown teams had some really high-level players. I mean, Chase Kroberger now at Alabama. Zanichi Steve, I forget where he is now, but he was a solid ball player. And there was James Tolbert, who was committed to James Madison at one point, but retracted his commitment. As that ball is outside, ball 4. And a second free pass in a row, and it's the third base runner of the inning as Matt DiMatteo will bat for Camden. But this is what we were talking about here. Gary Perrone has walked 47 batters this year, and with the 2 that he's allowed here in the second inning, that brings it up to 49 on the season. I think it is in the best interest of Camden to stay conservative, stay as cautious as you can possibly be. And it's old school, but don't swing until you get a strike. Maybe that doesn't apply in every situation, but you don't know how wild or how unpredictable Gary John Perrone is going to be. Because remember, if you win, you get to go home. You get a day of rest, you get a good night's sleep, and then you play at noon on Saturday. But if you don't win, you're going to be thrown into the fire, back-to-back games, versus the 3-time reigning national champions in Rowan Gloucester, a team that lost 13-5 to Middlesex. And you know that they're going to have a vengeance. That's exactly what it was last year. They lost to Salem. It was an upset. Everybody was up in arms. That hit him. Johnny Johnson might think that he leaned into it. Bases are loaded. And Johnny Johnson fired up as he talks to Ryan Adams and his pitcher Gary Perrone, and now everybody's going to get together in the infield. I thought he would maybe argue whether DiMatteo leaned in, but he's choosing not to, and the bases have now been loaded with no hits that are currently on base. Bentliff led off the inning with a single. But again, Johnny Johnson is fired up for a reason. He knows where Brookdale has been. I mean, they are the reigning Region 19 champions. Johnson with over 900 career wins. He passed the all-time win mark set by Paul McLaughlin for Brookdale this season. And there's a reason why we say that, because he is only the second coach at Brookdale. It's been him and McLaughlin. That's it. Nobody else has donned the head coaching job for the Jersey Blues. Johnson was a head coach at Bloomfield College before Brookdale, before they became NCAA Division II, and when they were NAIA. He also coached at a college in New York, and before then, his first head coaching job was at Red Bank Catholic, home of the Caseys in Red Bank, New Jersey. 2-0 count from Gary John Perrone. There's a strike called, 2-1. But 2 walks and a hit by pitch this inning. 3-0 Brookdale, but no better time for Camden to get on the board. This ball's popped up way in the air. Wind is going to carry this one out of play. It's 2-2. We're back to the top of the order for Chase Conway. He struck out looking in his first at bat. Camden has kept a cautious approach here in the second inning, and it's paid off. But will it pay off in the ultimate factor, which would be runs on the board? The 2-2. Chopper foul. He chased that one, but 2-strike count, you swing at anything close, you really can't fault him. As it's 2 balls, 2 strikes to Chase Conway, the right fielder. Batting in the leadoff spot for Camden as we go to the top of the order. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Perrone, the pitch. Fouled back again, and he'll stay alive. Just an admirable at bat here by Conway, but you can't help but think that it'll all be for nothing if he strikes out or if he gets out here without a run. I mean, you're working up Perrone's pitch count, but you've got to imagine that Brookdale is going to have a lot of offensive juice left in the tank. And Camden wants to cut into that as much as possible. Outside on the breaking ball, 3-2. I think that's the last breaking ball he's going to throw in this at bat. I really don't think that he's going to throw a fastball a breaking ball the rest of the at bat. I mean, 3-2, you don't want to take the risk. Full count. Fastball swing and a miss, he got him. Conway goes down on strikes and a big break for the Jersey Blues as 2 big outs after the bases were loaded. They get Conway to swing and miss on the 3-2, and Brookdale holds the lead while Camden leaves the bases loaded. Through an inning and a half, Jersey Blues 3, Cougars 0. Jersey is the number 2 seed. As we said, they beat Manville 19-0 in the first round, which was even larger than Audubon's 16-0 win over Paulsboro as the 1 seed in the first round. That one's hit out towards center field, straight away. Oh, she misjudged it. Got over her head in center field. Now this one's got a chance to be 3 bases for Spire. She's flying around third. Here comes the throw to the plate. It is not in time. What a way to kick off a semifinal with an inside the park home run. Emma Spire, who will take her talents to the Great Danes after 2026, lights up the scoreboard with a fly ball that got misjudged in center field. Bottom of the second inning as the train passes overhead. Casey Gardner is your batter, with Casey at the bat here in the bottom of the second inning. Brookdale brought in 3 runs in the bottom of the first as there's a strike called. Brookdale got 3 runs on 3 hits. Mulhern hit one to center field off the end of the bat. Then it was Smale. And Nico Marabo brought in the first 2 runs with a 2-run double. He then scored himself on Tomei's error, or pardon, a fielding error by the shortstop, and it's 1-1. So it's Gardner, Tan, and Mulhern, 8-9-1 for the Jersey Blues as they lead this one 3-0, but a huge escape in the top of the second inning as Camden left the bases loaded thanks to a Chase Conway strikeout. This one's well over our heads. 1-2. Gardner, the right fielder, Tan, the second baseman, donning the number 42. 2-2. I think the biggest thing that Nick Mokienko has to work on in this second inning is control, because control goes both ways. Not only is it throwing strikes, but you also don't want to leave anything down the middle, so that'll be a base hit. And again, that one looked pretty close to the middle there. Biggest thing for him, I would like to see him set up outside more depending on the hitter's side. I think that Brookdale has struggled a little bit with hitting the ball on the outside half of the plate, and they've done very well when they get the ball on the inside part of the plate. Nico Marabo's double, that was a ball that was a little bit inside. It wasn't a ball, it was just inside, and he was able to drive it out to the left center field gap. So I'd like to see Mokienko try to set up a little bit outside. Now, of course, the counter to that is that if you miss outside, you're usually missing in the middle, as that one's up high. It's 1-0. But it's not like he didn't walk anybody. He gave up 4 base runners, and then the next 3 outs were all his. He had a strikeout, a ground out unassisted, and a pop out to short. So, you know, there's the 1 error, so the 3rd run is unearned. But I think the main point I'm getting at is, you know, pitch selection matters so much here. And then for Camden, again, if you lose, you have to play immediately after this. You don't get the 3-hour break or the grace period that Rowan College gets because they lost to Middlesex. We've said it ad nauseum on the broadcast that This is not win or go home. This is win and go home. If you win, you get to go home. You don't have to stay for the third game, and you get your ticket punched to play at 12 noon on Saturday. But Tan fouls it off down the right field line to make it 1-2. Tan, the product of Colts Neck High School, 5'7", 175 pounds. As he fouls this one back again, an aggressive swing, but a late one. Anything to stay alive on 2 strikes, and it's 1-2. Tan batting .354, 51 RBIs, and 40 runs scored. He has walked 14 times. He has had 16 extra base hits, but has not left the ballpark. 12 doubles, 4 triples. The 1-2, runner goes. Ball skied in the center field. Gardner's going to have to turn around, and it's brought in by Bentliff. Out number 1. So Brookdale tried the hit and run, and they didn't get a hit or a run as it's 1 away. And we'll now go to the top of the order again for Ray Mulhern. He flared a ball off the end of his bat out to center field for the base hit to open up Brookdale's offensive attack. Brookdale with 3 runs, 4 hits. But you'll have to worry about a double play ball here. Maybe not as much considering that Mulhern is quite the quick player. He's a very agile player. There's a ground ball. Out to second. Tough play. Sliding stop. He'll go to first. He got him. Bang, bang play at first. Mulhern retired. Talk about how quick that kid is. I mean, that is some wicked speed. But on the first pitch, he grounds out. And it's out number 2. It'll bring up Dawson Smale.
Now batting for Brookdale, number 7, Dawson Smale.
So 4-3 ground out for Mulhern. Smale single in his first at bat. The second of 3 hits that Brookdale registered in the first inning. First pitch from Okienko is a ground ball also on the first pitch, picked up by Di Matteo. Throw to first is in time. He got him. Back-to-back bang-bang plays, and Camden gets out of the jam as they leave Brookdale without a run after a leadoff base hit by Casey Gardner. We go to the top of the third. It's Brookdale 3, Camden 0.
In Monteith.
Top of the third inning here at Camden Athletic Complex. Normally the home of Rutgers Camden baseball, but today and tomorrow and Saturday it's home of the Region 19 Final Four. This broadcast is brought to you by Harper Driving School. Over 90% of students who take their New Jersey State driving test with Harper pass on their first attempt. If you'd like to book an appointment today, visit Suite 4 of the Total Turf Complex in Pittman, New Jersey at 614 Lambs Road. As that ball misses well outside. And if you're a small business owner interested in advertising with Dan Wilkins Broadcasting, send us an email with an advertising inquiry at thedanwilkinsshow@gmail.com. That's TAGDANWILKINSSHOW. We offer advertising services including in-person commercial filming, social media promotion, and live coverage. I should say, up-to-date advertising needs for your business. As Monteith flies this one in the right field. This one's pretty deep, looking up, and it's off the middle of the wall. Gardner's got a quick play. This one's going to go past the cutoff man, and it's a double for Ian Monteith. First extra base hit of the day for Camden. That one goes out to right field straight away, hooking down the line.
Next up is number 3, Chase Renteria.
But he'll get on second base here with nobody out. But as we were saying, Dan Wilkins Broadcasting offers affordable advertising services for any business of any kind in South and Central Jersey. Whether you're a brick-and-mortar store, an online brand, or even just a social media presence, we can do whatever is needed to get you on the air in front of over 180,000 viewers annually in all 7 South Jersey counties. Again, that's our email, thedanwilkinsshow@gmail.com, for more information on advertising. 1 ball, no strikes to Renteria. Camden set up 6 batters in the second, but did not score as they left the bases loaded. Renteria struck out in his first at bat. 1-1. Fouled back. 1-2. One ball, 2 strikes, nobody out. And the 1-2 from Perone. Swing and a foul. Back towards the third base side. I mean, that extra base hit changes a lot because Camden's rise in the second inning was so gradual that it never really felt like they built any momentum. They had 2 walks and a hit by pitch, and the 1 hit in the inning was thrown out. Billy Bentliff got out on a caught stealing as there's a swing and a miss. Fastball and the bat missed low. It's the second time Renteria has struck out. It is the 4th for Gary John Perone, but his 4 strikeouts have been worthwhile. He struck out the number 1 and number 3 hitters twice apiece. And we'll now go to the cleanup man in Winston Yates with 1 away, runner on second. Thought maybe Brookdale would try to run away with this one early, but they have not. Just 3 runs in the first, and of course it is still very early. As that ball gets away, it's high up off the netting. Adams picks it up, rings around with the ball behind the plate, and it moves Monteith to third on the wild pitch. One ball, no strikes. Oh no, sorry, 0-1 is the count, it looks like. Runner on third, 1 away. That one's outside. 2 balls, no strikes. I was trusting the scoreboard up in left center field. I got to trust my own math, because rarely does a wild pitch get called a strike unless the batter swung at it, but I had to kind of go deep into my memory. As that ball gets away, no runner from third. They did not want to take the chance on Adams. They know that Adams has denied them before. Three balls, no strikes. Three 0 Brookdale. Camden's going to look to get on the board here in the top of the third. Here's a 3-0. Strike called inside corner, right on the line. And it's 3-1. Johnson doing some very late. They're moving Tan in all the way up to the grass as this ball is launched. Left center field. Winston Yates bat flips, and this ball is off the bottom of the wall. And it's underneath the fence. Winston Yates just bat flipped a ground rule double, and it's 3-1. It's still a run, but he probably would have been stuck at second no matter what. he might get an earful in the dugout about that one.
Now batting number 12, Billy Bentliff.
To be fair, that ball looked really good off the bat, but you can never trust Rutgers Camden with how stiff the wind is. I mean, I'm going to be honest, if you heard my call of it, I thought it was gone too, but Camden is a very humbling ballpark. As a fly ball to right field. This one is deep. Looking up Gardner. This game is tied. No denying this one. 2-run home run, Billy Bentliff. And Camden, after a home run was taken away by the forces of nature, this one, without a doubt, 3-3. So maybe Winston Yates is forgiven after all as Billy Bentliff goes to right field. And he ties up the game at 3. 2 hits for Bentliff. And a strike is called
Now batting second baseman Colin Thompson.
to Colin Thompson. One ball, one strike now. That one missed. Tapper foul by Thompson. Thompson 0 for 1. Flew out to center field at his last at bat. Swing and a miss. Strikeout number 5 for Perone, and that's out number 2.
The third baseman, number 20, Cole Hudson.
So Hudson will bat in the 7 slot. This ball is hit out towards center field. Wynn's going to keep this one in. Mulhern goes over, and he makes the catch, and the inning is over. But Billy Bentliff ties the game on a 2-run home run, and Camden gets all of their runs back. It's 3-3 going to the bottom of the 3rd here in Camden. Bottom of the 3rd inning, 3-3 tie game. 2-run home run by Billy Bentliff ties it up after an RBI double by Winston Yates. I thought that was going to be the base hit
number 10,
with maybe the maximum amount of karma. I mean, Winston Yates, he clubbed that ball, but the wind kept it in the ballpark, and he bat flipped it. So I thought he was going to get an earful, and maybe he still will, but I think it's now erased from the history book now that Billy Bentliff has the home run. Strike called from Okienko. 3, 4, and 5 for Brookdale. Marabou, Tomei, and Pizzuti. 3-3 tie game, 9 combined hits so far. 5 for the Cougars and 4 for the Jersey Blues. It's another breaking ball. Sweeps back into the zone just beneath the letters. I'd argue versus a guy like Marabou. I mean, I watched him last year for RCSJ Gloucester when I was there. he's a dangerous hitter on that kind of pitch, and he can leave one to hang, and he can bang it. That one's outside. Camden might have thought he offered at it, but it misses outside, 1-2. Maribot drove in 2 runs with a 2-run double out to left center field to open up the scoring in the game. Gave Brookdale a 3-run first as a chopper back over the middle. Tough play, no play, into center field. Base hit for Maribot, and he'll get that one down to first after a 2-strike leadoff single. I thought Maribot came up gingerly there as he was going to first, and he's shaking his head no. I mean, Johnny Johnson asked him if he was okay, and he's now going to bend over at first base. He came up pretty gingerly, but he's going to try to tough this one out. As the batter will be Tomei. Reached on an error in the first inning. Strike called, 0-1. Johnson giving the home plate umpire an earful for that call. That one's low. Gets through the legs of Milligan, but he hangs onto it. Same umpires for Game 1 as Game 2, but they've moved around. Ben DiCostanzo, the crew chief, is behind the plate. Aaron Brown is the first base umpire. Frank Briccato is the third base umpire, who was the home plate umpire in Game 1. The 1-1 outside. We are told that we will have a different set of umpires for Game 3, but I have not been informed who that will be yet. When we get that info, I'll let you know. But the United Umpiring Association, heavily involved with Division III and junior college baseball around the area, also in close cohorts with John Galante, who was a guest interview, I guess you could say, in the second inning of Game 1. I mean, if you can go back to the first game and listen to that when you get a chance, it's a great perspective from the president of the Umpiring Association and Tri-State Elite, which services dozens of high schools in South and Central Jersey. That one's away. It'll be ball 4. Tomei walks. And it'll be Pizzuti, the batter, in the tie game, 3-3, bottom of the third. But, I mean, Galante, he's under 35 years old. And he's
now batting number 11, Anthony
built up, not an empire, but a very well-respected organization for umpiring in South Jersey. And we talked about it yesterday. We had a high school game between GCIT and Kingsway as the first pitch is a strike called outside corner. Oh, and 1 the count. But the base umpire in that game was a gentleman named Nolan Leidy, who was a 2023 grad of Triton and was umpiring a high-stakes high school baseball game in the Tri-County Rural Division at just 21 years old. And I remember I was thinking to myself, I'm like, you don't see that too often. I mean, yeah, it's common to see a major league player at 21, or common to see a coach maybe of that age, an assistant coach, maybe a grad assistant, as a ground ball to first. It retires Pizzuti, 3 unassisted, moves everybody up 90 feet. Maribot now being checked on at third by Brookdale's third base coach. Jerry Malanga and Jay Blackwell, Brookdale's assistants. 1 away, runners on second and third as Pizzuti, now 0 for 2 as the batter is Ryan Adams. And he'll have to face Diffley on deck with no double play ball, and Brookdale trying to take the lead. First pitch, barely got a piece of it, and it's 0-1. But as we go on into this game, like we were saying, Nolan Leidy, 21 years old, was the base umpire for GCIT and Kingsway yesterday in our high school game that we did. You just don't see that, and I thought that it was quite admirable, and not to mention their home plate umpire, Mr. Dave Albertson, in that game. He ended up having a strong day as well. He even got compliments from the pitcher, Alex Valle. He said, Alex Valle, who was the pitcher for GCIT, he said, sir, you did a great job umpiring. I don't think there was a single call that you got wrong. And I rarely, if ever, hear a pitcher say that. Check to first. No good, and it's 2-1. I'm not sure what that gentleman's saying over in the Brookdale dugout, but it's 2-1. Mokienko's pitch, fastball, hit out to center field. Straight away, Bentlifs is going to run in, and it's caught in left. He called him off, and look at this rocket all the way to the plate. He held the runner up at third. Look out, Cape Canaveral, as that ball was a rocket from Ian Monteith in left field. And it's out number 2, as rarely do you see a fly ball of that depth hold the runner, especially in this ballpark. But Adams flies out to left field. I thought originally Bentliff was going to go for it, but Monteith must have called him off at the last second. And a big chance for Camden to get out of a big jam. First pitch, outside. One ball, no strikes, 2 outs, 2 runners on second and third. Frame by Milligan, hit the outside corner, and it's 1-1. One ball, 1 strike to Diffley, the left fielder. 2 outs and 2 runners in scoring position as this ball's popped up high in the air to second base. Going back. And bringing that ball into his glove is Colin Thompson. Big way to get out of it for Nick Mokienko as he leaves 2 runners in scoring position, but a weak fly ball off the bat of Diffley ends the threat. Through 3 innings, we're a third of the way through game 2 and almost halfway done the day. It's 3-3. Aiden Milligan leads us off. He's going to pop up a bunt back behind the plate. In the top of the 4th inning here from Camden Athletic Complex. One of my favorite backdrops my favorite backdrop in all of South Jersey, but it consistently comes up as one of the best backdrops, honestly, in the country. But it wasn't always like this. If you're above a certain age, you remember the time when this was the home of the Camden River Sharks, an independent league team in the Atlantic League. They played for 15 years. They weren't there for all that long. It was 2000 to 2015. They played at Campbell's Field, and this ballpark actually didn't have as much of a picturesque view as it does today, where the batter's eye is more or less the giant pillar of the bridge. As this one's fouled back, it's 2-2. If you look at photos of Campbell's Field, the ballpark was actually rotated about 75 to 90 degrees. So in left field, where the right field foul pole is today for Camden is about where the old Campbell's Field center field was. and you really had to, the view was nice, but you really had to look at it from a certain angle for you to get its entire beauty. But here, when the city of Camden bulldozed Campbell's Field in 2017, they said, what are we going to do with the ballpark? And it originally was actually not going to be repurposed, as that'll be a leadoff walk for Milligan. It originally was just going to be a parking lot, which would become extra overflow parking for not just the Camden Aquarium, the Adventure Aquarium, but it was also going to become overflow parking for the BB&T Pavilion, now the Freedom Mortgage Pavilion. But there was enough of a pushback in Camden at the time to say, no, we don't want an overflow parking lot for the aquarium. Let's repurpose this stadium and make it into something the entire community can use. So they came up with this idea, and it formally opened in 2021. It was originally supposed to open in 2019, but years of delays and, of course, the COVID pandemic put a stop to that. And the first baseball game played here was in 2022 for Rutgers Camden. And it's still used today as, I mean, you see a lot of Summer League games here. You see the Region 19 tournament. This field has become a go-to bucket list field for many South Jersey teams of all levels, from, you know, the 13-year-olds at the juniors and seniors level to high school to college. And again, the amateur, the semi-pro, and the summer leagues play here a lot as well. You know, any given day from April to September, you can very often see a ball game being played here between two competitors. And I feel that has made this ballpark incredibly valuable, not just to the city of Camden, but to all of Camden County. Because South Jersey didn't have a ballpark like this for a while. In Central Jersey, it was the Trenton Thunder Ballpark, formerly Arm & Hammer Park, and of course TD Bank Ballpark in Somerset. And maybe you could count the Jersey Shore Blue Claws, formerly Lakewood Blue Claws Park in Lakewood in Ocean County. But South Jersey didn't have something like this. As it's 2-2. I mean, the Diamond Classic Final used to be played here back when it was Campbell's Field, a stadium that held 5,500 and was the third largest venue of the Atlantic League. The 2-2 from Perrone. Foul back, and the at-bat stays alive. So what makes this ballpark so special is not just the fact that it was torn down and rebuilt and repurposed into a baseball field, but it was also repurposed to make it a better skyline. You know, they replaced the grass, put in turf. Made the dimensions a little bit different as they backed the field up to the street and right field. As that one's outside. Missed outside of the box, and it's 3-2. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Nobody out. Camden with a go-ahead run on first after a walk to Milligan. And he's going to foul this one back. That got a piece of Adams, and it might have gotten a piece of the home plate umpire as well, the crew chief. It's still 3-2. DiMatteo was hit by a pitch in his first at-bat. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Gary John Perrone has already walked 3 batters. He's looking to avoid number 4. Oh, offer. Second base says he went. Camden can't believe it, but no arguing balls and strikes in this town, and it's out number 1 as DiMatteo goes down on strikes, and it sends up Chase Conway.
Right fielder number 5, Chase Conway.
I mean, it's unfortunate, but grounder foul. My question is, why was I don't know if this is the right question to ask, but I'm curious why they appealed to second base instead of appealing to first base. Because there's a runner on first, but normally if you're appealing a swing, you go to whoever's down the line. As a ground ball, this could be 2, Tan to first. It is in time. Around the horn, 5-4-3 double play. Camden gets out of the inning with a double play started at third base. As going to the bottom of the 4th inning, it's Camden 3 and Brookdale 3. And Argabright with a full count. Outfielders in communication for the Quakers. Everyone's looking around in a tie game, bottom of the 6th. The 3-2 payoff. Ground ball. It's going to get over the head of Tolbert into left field. That's a base hit. 2-run score. Argabright delivers when asked. 5-3. Alex Argabright has given the Golden Eagles a 5-3 lead in the bottom of the 6th inning. Casey Gardner leads us off in the bottom of the 4th inning here on Dan Wilkins Broadcasting. If you'd like to make a contribution to Dan Wilkins Broadcasting, we do have a Venmo at DW Broadcasting, no spaces and no hyphens. Of course, not required, but incredibly appreciated, as we cover a lot of South Jersey and Central Jersey athletics across all levels, from youth to high school to college and amateur as well. We have a lot of crew members who, we like to cover travel costs and equipment expenses, and goodness knows that these pieces of equipment are not going to get any cheaper. So, of course, not required by any means. But if you are generous enough, or I should say, if you are kind enough to do so, if possible, again, our Venmo is at DW Broadcasting. No spaces, no hyphens. But no matter what, even if you don't contribute, Dan Wilkins Broadcasting will always be free to watch on YouTube. Strike called, 1-2. One ball, 2 strikes. Gardner, Tan, and Mulhern, 8-9-1 for the Jersey Blues. We're tied up at 3 in the bottom of the 4th inning. Mokienko delivers. This ball is laced back up the middle. Diving is Thompson. He can't get there. Goes into center field. And Casey Gardner gets himself his 2nd hit of the game. He's now 2 for 2. Base hit out to left field, and that one up the middle to center. Brings up Ryan Tan.
Second baseman number 42, Ryan Tan.
Brookdale scored 3 runs in the bottom of the 1st inning. 2-run double by Nico Marabo. The next batter brought in a run on an error at shortstop. Camden, 3 runs on 1 swing. On 2 swings. There was a 2-run home run by Billy Bentliff. Before then, it was an RBI ground rule double off the bat of Winston Yates, which a lot of us thought would be a turning point because he bat flipped. Looked like it was gone, but the wind kept that one in the ballpark. And again, I don't know if he got an earful about that one because the game is tied, but would have been interesting to see how that one squared up. I guess all is forgiven if Bentliff tied the game. I think it would have been a bigger issue if Bentliff didn't get that home run to right field and we would have been in a 3-1 game. I mean, I remember that was an issue one time. It was an issue a lot of times if you're a Phillies fan with Odubel Herrera. He always had that problem where he would get a fly ball like 350 feet, and then he would just flick the bat off his shoulder thinking it was going 450 feet. And a lot of times he was wrong. As the 1-0. Fouled back by Tan towards Delaware Street, and it's 1-1. But baseball is a game that humbles you, and I think for Mr. Yates, that was another one that, unless he knows for sure, he might not do that one again. It's 1-1. But if you're just joining us, we're tied up 3-3. Camden and Brookdale. Winner goes home and plays 12 noon on Saturday versus Middlesex College. The loser stays here and plays in Game 3 as this ball is trapped by Milligan. Did not get a throw down. And he'll let the runner steal second base as it's 2-1. Tan flew out to center field in his first at-bat. Fouled back. It's 2-1. Now 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Tan. Runner on second, and that one skips in. Gardner thought about going, but he's going to hang on to it, and it's 3-2. Lineup will turn over to Ray Mulhern, who is 1 for 2 with a single and a ground out. One of the quickest guys I've seen in a while. I mean, any ball that's put in play by Ray Mulhern is going to be one where you think he's got a chance to beat it out just because he's that fast. And a strong batter as well. Ground ball by Tan. Mokienko unable to stop it. It'll go to the second baseman, who throws him out at first. Thompson makes the play. That's out number 1. It moves the runner to third. And we do go to the top of the order now for Ray Mulhern.
The center fielder, number 5, Ray Mulhern.
Now 1 for 2. Ooh, that one jammed foul. And that's talk about a pinball shot. That one hit off of the railing and then just landed on top of the Camden dugout. I think it's just sitting there. How about that? He hit it on the ground off the handle of the bat. It bounced up off the black railing on the right side, and it literally just came to rest on the roof of the Camden dugout. I don't think you could have done that if you tried. As the 0-1 is outside. Trust me, I've covered a plethora of high school baseball games with fields with chain link fences, and how many times have I seen the balls get wedged inside of the chain link fence? That's always a funny sight. It's our equivalent of the basketball getting wedged outside of the hoop, between the hoop and the backboard. That one is up, 2-1. Brookdale looking to take the lead after Camden tied it up in the top of the 3rd inning. Here's the 2-1. Mokienko delivers. Jammed foul off the netting by Mulhern. Mulhern and then Dawson Schmale, the shortstop in the 2 slot out of the left-handed box for the Jersey Blues. Brookdale out of Lincroft, New Jersey in Monmouth County. Probably took them about maybe an hour 15 to get here, if I had to guess. Fouled back. Probably Middlesex and Brookdale had to travel about an hour, and then if I had to guess, well, Camden County College does have a satellite campus in the city of Camden. You actually see it while you're driving down Broad Street in downtown Camden. But their main campus, and in which they play athletics, is in Blackwood at the end of Route 42. The 2-2. Mulhern jammed foul again. I believe they also have a satellite campus in Cherry Hill. But the campus that, you know, it's kind of like how all these kind of universities have satellite campuses everywhere. Temple has satellite campuses, but they play their home games, you know, in the main campus in Center City. But Camden's the same way. They've got a few satellite campuses. It's the 2-2. This ball skied in the right center field. This one's up there. Conway going back. He'll make the catch. Runner tags from third. This ball is launched, and it's going to be a little bit too far, as a sacrifice fly will bring in the runner, and it's a 4-3 game. Brookdale takes the lead on a sacrifice fly to right field off the bat of Ray Mulhern. So he gets his first RBI of the game. He scores Casey Gardner, and we go to the number 2 batter in Dawson Smale.
Next up, the shortstop, number 7, Dawson Smale.
And the one team we didn't talk about was Rowan Gloucester. I know they're about 20 minutes, I would say, from their campus in Deptford, New Jersey, in Gloucester County. That one's up and out. But an hour really isn't much if you think about it. I mean, the first games that RCSJ played this year were in Richmond, Virginia. They played the Allegheny College of Maryland. There's a strike called, 1-1. One ball, one strike to Smale. In the 2 slot, 1 for 2. Single in the first inning, grounded out to short to end the second. And what's outside. Two balls, one strike. Helicopter flying overhead. That one's low. I apologize. I had to cut away for that for a second because my field mic was picking up that helicopter like it was right on top of me, but no, it's just flying over the Ben Franklin Bridge. As the 3-1 from Okienko is outside, ball 4. Just off, and Smale gets a 2-out free pass. It's the second walk allowed by Mokienko, and now we are going to get, this is what I thought might happen. We're going to get a pinch hitter for Nico Marabo. So what they're going to do here, the pitcher, Gary Perrone, has a bat and a helmet, which isn't surprising considering he's a top-level hitter for Brookdale, but he was not in the starting lineup today as a result of being the pitcher. So I am curious if in the place of Marabo, they are forfeiting the DH and they are going to move Tomei.
Hitting for Marabo, the pitcher, Gary John Perrone.
So this is an interesting situation here. So with Brookdale pinch hitting for Nico Marabo, who was the left fielder with the pitcher, as we said, he had a base hit back in the third and then came up gingerly as he was running the first. He was able to round the bases, but he is now being taken out of this game, maybe as a precaution. But it's 0-1 to Perrone. So I'm curious how that would go about. Maybe in this situation they forfeit the DH and Tomei moves to left field. I'm honestly not sure how that would work. I haven't seen that before. But we've talked about Gary Perrone, as a pitcher. Let's talk about him as a hitter. The product of Staten Island, New York, out of Tottenville High School, batting .339, 4 home runs, 41 RBIs, and 10 stolen bases. He had 2 home runs in last year's Final Four here at Rutgers Camden. The 0-2, up and away. So yeah, he's kind of being thrown into the fire here with one of his best hitters in Nico Marabo seeming to come up with an injury. There is a right-hander warming up in the bullpen for Brookdale. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Mokienko delivers, and it's outside. Milligan couldn't get that one that time. And that is number 20, Luke Rocasano, warming up in the bullpen for the Jersey Blues. So I'm very intrigued to see how this goes out, but the 2-2 grounded foul goes just over the Camden dugout. So Perrone batting .339. He's played in 49 games for Brookdale this year. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. As the 2-2 outside. Count is full. Now you set up an interesting situation. I mean, with the 3-2 count, got to imagine the runner will go, at least in an attempt to get a hit and run if you swing on 3-2. But Perrone pinch hitting for Marabo. The pitcher, who wasn't in the lineup originally, but dons a .392 batting average. Runner goes, 3-2, outside and a little bit low. Ball 4. Milligan tried to frame it. The home plate umpire was not fooled, and Gary Perrone will get to first base, and the batter will be Tomei. Now, Tomei is the DH, and Marabo, who was pinch hit for, is the left fielder. Camden bringing out their pitching coach to talk to him now. Camden led by third-year head coach John Scanzano. He is assisted by Scott Shaw Jr., Matt Brewer, and Rob Reddy. 2 runners on and 2 away. Brookdale is led by 27th-year head coach Johnny Johnson, assisted by Jerry Malenga and Jay Blackwell. John Scanzano talking to the home plate umpire. Not sure what the discussion is. Again, today's umpires under the United Umpiring Association. The crew chief is Ben DiCostanzo. He was at first base for game 1. He is now behind the plate. Aaron Brown is the first base umpire. Frank Briccato, who was behind the plate for game 1, is your third base umpire. So the pitching coach takes himself off the mound, and Mokienko will remain in the game. But I'm still curious what this discussion is about between Scanzano and DiCostanzo. Now, Scanzano has a lot of experience outside of Camden County College. Like we said, he was a head coach at King's Christian School in Cherry Hill before this. And if you've ever heard of Scanzano Combat Baseball, I mean, it is a plethora of talent in the youth baseball scene in South Jersey. Commands goodness knows how many travel baseball teams. And there's probably a good chunk of players on this Camden County team that have played for Scanzano Combat across their many different circuits. Brookdale's dugout getting a little bit restless here with Scanzano talking with home plate umpire DiCostanzo, and now he's going to ask the umpires to come in. Again, I'm not sure what this is about here. So again, our 3 umpires today, that's Ben DiCostanzo, the crew chief. They're going to get some warm-up pitches from Mokienko here during the delay. Aaron Brown is the first base umpire. Frank Briccato is the third base umpire. But again, I have no idea what John Scanzano was asking about, and I don't know what the argument is. But we'll see what's going on here. Okay, so what I think this is about, and now that we've heard from Johnny Johnson and John Scanzano, is this is a discussion about Gary John Perrone pinch hitting for Nico Marabo. I keep saying Gary John Perrone. I'm sorry, Gary Perrone III. John Scanzano was arguing that because Perrone is the starting pitcher and is currently in the game, he can only enter the game in the DH's spot, as there's a strike called. And Johnny Johnson, adamant that he is correct. I mean, listen, he's a 900-win head coach. I really wouldn't question Johnny Johnson that often. But John Scanzano asked for the help of RCSJ Cumberland's athletic director, J.D. DiGiacomo, who I believe is supervising the tournament in some way. That one's fouled back. So that's what the issue was, and that seemed to have sparked a rules check. I would have to do more research on that myself, because I have never seen that situation before where a starting pitcher who is actively in the game gets a pinch hit at bat for another player in another position. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm saying I've never seen it before. As it's 0-2 to Tomei. He's reached base twice, once on a walk, one on an E6. But a very confusing scenario here as Brookdale leads 4-3. They played it a run in this inning on a sacrifice fly, which feels like many moons ago by Ray Mulhern. But 2 walks from Mokienko. Now he's got an 0-2 count to the cleanup man. Tomei, ground ball to third. Third baseman will tag the bag, and the inning is over as Cole Hudson ends the threat and ends the frame. Brookdale takes the lead on a sac fly and nothing more. But a bit of an odd inning with John Scanzano asking for a rules check and not being let's just say not being granted whatever he was looking for. So going to the 5th, Brookdale leads 4-3.
Book Dog Pro Wrestling for your next event or outing for the greatest action that New Jersey Pro Wrestling has to offer. Any place, any time, any setting, Dog Pro Wrestling will bring the action to you, and you won't want to miss it for moments like this. But don't just take it from me. Take it from Max Mundo, the Dog Pro Wrestling ambassador.
This is Max Mundo with Dog Pro Wrestling. Are you a civic organization, sporting club looking to fundraise? Then look no further to Dog Pro Wrestling. We do grand openings, corporate events, and much more.
And why not from some of the wrestling talent themselves?
I'm Vinny the Fixer, and I'm the champion of Dog Professional Wrestling. If you want to book the best, come see us. We're the cream of the crop. We'll come to any fundraiser you can think of. Just name the place and we'll show up.
This is the upstanding Dylan Mesh, and for the entirety of my professional wrestling career, dog wrestling has been a mainstay for where I like to wrestle. So you can believe me when I say that it is quality. And I'm upstanding. I'm the only opinion you need.
Yeah! It's your boy Gabriel Hodder here with my man Matthew Oman, and if you want your events to be all fight, no flight,
then book Dog Wrestling so you can witness true primal fear. Woo!
This saga is not over. John Scanzano still arguing with home plate umpire DiCostanzo, and Gary John Perone, who's back in the game as the pitcher. The left fielder now, let's see who this is out there. That is number 28, who is Gabe Tomei. So what they did is they did move DH Gabe Tomei out of the DH position, which is what I thought they would do, but again, I'm being a little bit using a little bit of an admission here, but I'm honestly not sure what the rule is, because Tomei is the DH, or was the DH. He moved into left field, but does that mean that the pitcher's spot is forfeited because of that? If you want my honest opinion, I thought that the rule was that you could only hit for the pitcher, could only hit for the DH with the pitcher, but or in his position, pardon. John Scanzano is asking for J.D. DiGiacomo, and like we said, we didn't think this saga would be over, and he's calling for J.D. DiGiacomo. He's the athletic director at Rowan Cumberland. Yeah, so we can confirm he is protesting whether or not the pitcher is allowed to hit in Nico Maribo's position. Because again, if you're just joining us, let's bring you back up to speed. Earlier in the game, Nico Maribo had a base hit, and he came up gingerly on the play. In his next at bat, Johnny Johnson brought in Gary John Perone to hit for him. And there in the pink hat, the gentleman J.D. DiGiacomo. And I believe that DiGiacomo just put him on the phone with some director or somebody in charge with the NJCAA to figure out the ruling here. But again, Scanzano knows a lot of baseball, and so does Johnny Johnson. So, it's really difficult to perceive what this ruling could be. But I've never seen anything like this before. But Scanzano is protesting that call. Now the thing is that it's already passed. So what would you retroactively do here? Would you, because you can't add an out, the at-bat happened, and I don't think you can go back to the top of the fourth inning and say, start over. But again, on the phone there is the umpire DiCostanzo. Would have to imagine he's on the phone with a person of authority with the NJCAA about the rules here. Yeah, so the central argument of what Scanzano is protesting is that the pitcher cannot hit in a position outside of the designated hitter, which is what they did with Nico Marabo. And Scanzano was adamant he wasn't going to let it go, which if he's right, then if he's correct, then he had no reason to let it go. But again, now that the inning is passed, we mentioned before that Tomei, who was the DH, moved to left field, and Gary John Perone is still the pitcher. So a very lengthy delay. But again, that is the home plate umpire and the crew chief. That is Ben DiCostanzo behind the plate. He's on the phone. Sorry, folks, trying to pick up the best of this as we can. So Brookdale, I believe that's their athletic director in the blue hoodie, standing next to Aaron Brown. And now Johnny Johnson and John Scanzano are talking. And I would imagine they disagree about the rule, but it seems like after Ben DiCostanzo was on the phone with the person of authority, they did say that it is in the rules that what Johnny Johnson did was allowed. And John Scanzano, he was told by the home plate umpire, he said, you're allowed to proceed with the protest if you wish. And considering what the athletic director wrote down for Brookdale, it seems like he will proceed with that, as it's 1-0. So the rest of this game is going to be played under protest, which really sets up an interesting conundrum, because if Brookdale beats Camden, then you have to play 30 minutes after you've lost. And if I'm correct, if your protest is successful, which considering how adamant the home plate umpire was that the ruling was correct, that Johnson was allowed to do it, if that protest doesn't stand, then you go on as normal. But if it does, I mean, that sets up a lot of questions and a lot of hypotheticals, because there have been protests that have been honored before at different levels of baseball, as the count is 3-0 to the leadoff man, Monteith. And he'll take a strike call at 3-1. It's Monteith, Renteria, and Yates. 4-3 Brookdale, top of the fifth. I'm going on and on because I've never seen this before. And I want to kind of paint the picture as best as I can for the viewers at home, because listen, I've studied the game of baseball for 10 years, and I have never seen a situation like that at any level. But the batter will now be Renteria, Chase Renteria. That one fouled back, 0-1. Ricochets back onto the field.
Chase Renteria.
So yeah, the question would be, I mean, if against the odds, if John Scanzano's protest does stand, then how do you manage the third game? Because let's say, I mean, talk about a nightmare scenario. If Camden lost this game, then had to play in the second game, and if they lost that, then they would be out of the tournament. But then the NJCAA could look at that and say, well, first of all, that's strike 3. Renteria's retired, and it'll bring up Winston Yates. He struck out 3 times already. That's 1 away. Then what do you do? Because you've got 3 games played in 1 day. And for what it's worth, Rowan College Gloucester's athletic director is not here. He is in Texas for the men's tennis national championships. Wow, what a throw. Just couldn't get there. He's safe. Ryan Adams looked like he slipped a little bit on that play, on that throw. He kind of stuck out his right leg. But Monteith, that's stolen base number 39 for the sophomore out of Kingsway Regional. It's 0-1. One and one. Yeah, let's just say all the athletic directors that are here, they are all on the phone. I think they're trying to figure it out like we are. As the 1-1. There's a strike called. 1-2. One ball, 2 strikes, 1 away to Yates. He had a ground rule double to open Camden scoring in the top of the 3rd. That one's a ground ball, out to second, picked up, throw to first by Yates to Diffley, is in time. It's out number 2, moves the runner to 3rd. There's 2 away now for Billy Bentliff, who had that 2-run home run, cleared the right field fence to tie up the game at 3.
Number 12, Billy Bentliff.
I'm just still trying to wrap my head around the nightmare scenario that not a nightmare scenario, but the nightmare scenario logistically. They're going to intentionally walk Bentliff. Runners on the corners now, and I mean, I don't blame him. He's 2 for 2. I really don't blame him for that. As now you set up a lefty-lefty matchup with Colin Thompson, the second baseman. I don't mind that from Johnny Johnson at all. I mean, listen, a fielder's choice ends the inning if you ground the ball up the middle, and then you've got easy outs everywhere. So I really think that that's a good idea, although they're going to try to break up this double play, and they will. Not a double play, but they'll break up the fielder's choice situation.
Now batting the second baseman, Colin Thompson.
That one did miss to Thompson. Thompson is 0 for 2. Fly out to center field in the first inning. In the second, and then struck out in the 3rd. So he's 0 for 2. Almost offered at it, but held back. It's 2-0. But if John Scanzano wins that protest, and then you play 2 games, of course, if Camden wins today, then that's entirely irrelevant. But you got to imagine at the NJCAA level, those protest turnarounds might not be as quick as Major League Baseball, where they can give you a final verdict on a protest in maybe an hour. But again, just to put the drama to rest, Andy Costanzo assured John Scanzano, he said, I would imagine he's talking to the head of officiating for NJCAA or somebody of that kind, as now the bases are loaded with Thompson's walk and it brings up Cole Hudson. But my thinking is, he was talking to somebody, and they affirmed that was the rule. They checked the rule book, and
now batting for Camden County, third baseman number 20, Cole Hudson.
You know, scrolling through a junior college baseball rule book has got to be like finding through the works of Gutenberg. I mean, it's like, can't imagine that rule book is a thin one. As the bases are loaded for Cole Hudson, he's 0 for 1, walked in the second inning, flew out to center to end the 3rd. That right-hander for Brookdale still in the bullpen, number 20, Luke Rocasano. An offensive timeout called by Camden County. And Ryan Adams was originally going to talk to Gary Perrone, but he instead was asked by Johnny Johnson to pull back and not converse with him. 2 outs, bases loaded with the train passing overhead. A big at-bat for Camden in the 7 slot for Cole Hudson. And The on-deck circle is Aiden Milligan if the inning continues, who has walked twice today. Ball inside. Hudson wanted to turn on that one, but he just lost it at the end. But he ended up taking a ball anyway on that first pitch slider. That one's low. Yeah, I feel like at this point, if you're John Scanzano, he's not even angry at the umpires because that's not their decision. They talk to the higher authority. He's probably upset with the NJCAA rulebook as a whole, the fact that that is allowed. There's a strike called. Two balls, one strike, two outs. Perone delivers. Fastball hit out to left center field. This one's hit well. This could split the gap. Going back, Mulhern. He will not make the catch. The ball pops out of the glove. 1 run scores. 2 runs score. Mulhern is down. 3-run double out to left center. Cole Hudson. 6-4 Camden. A big swing out of the 7 slot. And Ray Mulhern is down in left center field. He took a lick with the left fielder in Matei. And Mulhern does get up. He looks like he's going to walk this off, but Brookdale's trainer going out, or he was going out at least to go check on him. He's standing at the foul line waiting to see if he needs attention. But Camden with a 3-run double has turned this game on its head at 6-4.
Next up, the catcher, number 13, Aiden Milligan.
So here's Milligan. He's walked twice. And a 3-run double clears the bases to left center off the bat of Cole Hudson. And you can see here, oh, that was a bad collision. Mulhern basically got a leg in the face from the left fielder, Matei. That one's up and out, 1-0. Milligan, the 7th batter of the inning, 0 for 0, 2 walks so far. He was able to score Monteith, Bentliff, and Thompson, who had all reached base via the walk. It was cashing in your chips at the right moment, as there were 3 walks in the inning, 2 attacked, 1 intentional. And it was Camden's first hit of the inning. They now have 6 runs on 6 hits, which does them a favor as they've left the bases loaded in this game several times. Actually, just in the second inning, but still, I'm sure Camden's still kicking themselves a little bit for that bases loaded gaff in the second. Another breaking ball by Perone. It's 2-2. For the sophomore, Perone, again, out of New York, just outside of New York City. Headed down to Lincroft to play for the Jersey Blues. The 2-2 outside. Matt DiMatteo is on deck if the inning continues. Three balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, and the pitch. Ground ball, third base side, tough play. Going over to third, it's bobbled. Pizzuti overstretched. The ball carried away from him at the last second. The runner from second did not move, and Pizzuti, they're going to score that an infield hit because of the extraordinary effort. That was a tough play.
2, Matt DiMatteo.
So I think that's a 50-50 ball either way. Official scoring is a single, and the batter is Matt DiMatteo. First pitch, called a strike on the outside corner. But Camden with 2 innings of 3 runs each. 3 in the third, 3 in the fifth. And they've now turned this game over to 6-4. That one's high. 1-1 count. One, up and in, 2-1. Two balls, 1 strike. To the number 9 hitter from Haddon Heights, Matt DiMatteo. Here's the 2-1. Strike call, 2-2. DiMatteo and then Conway. That would be the 9th batter of the inning, the right fielder. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out and 2 on. Swing and a miss, he got him. Gary Perrone with a big strikeout, but not before a 3-run double by Cole Hudson turns this game on its head. In a game that's been full of controversy, there was no controversy on this swing as we go to the bottom of the 5th. 6-4, Cougars. Bottom of the 5th inning. This broadcast is brought to you by the South Jersey chapter of the National Adult Baseball Association. Games are underway for the spring season and the summer season, but registration will open in June for the fall season. If you're 18 and older and want to play some men's league baseball, visit southjerseynaba.com. Don't worry, I also play in South Jersey NABA. I love it. There's 20 teams across 4 highly competitive leagues. There's Sunday leagues, and there's midweek divisions as well. Check them out today, southjerseynaba, NABA.com. I told the league president, Mikey Sr., I said, I'm going to start using the fact that I play men's league baseball for NABA in my advertising promos. I'm not hitting very well, as that one's outside. I had 1 hit off of a former Division III pitcher in Billy Keene. I think he was throwing like high 70s, and we lost the game 12-1, but I laced it down the left field line. I haven't done as well. I didn't do good last week. I was 0 for 3. But I'll tell you, ball comes in fast when you're standing on top of the plate. 2-1, it's Pizzuti, Adams, and Diffley. 5, 6, and 7 for the Jersey Blues. They trail by 2 runs, 6-4, after a big 3-run double by Cole Hudson. Not to be confused with the Cole Hudson who graduated from Shawnee High School, spent a year at West Virginia, now playing at Penn State. Or actually, no, that might be, I'm sorry, I'm pretty sure that's Ben Hudson. I apologize. So many names in South Jersey just get mixed up sometimes. As the 2-2 from Mokienko is inside. I'm sure there's somebody in that Brookdale dugout that wanted him to wear that one, but we'll see if he gets on base after taking that one inside, as that one got away from Mokienko. Pizzuti 0 for 2, strikeout and a 3 unassisted ground out as he taps this one down the third base line, and it's foul. Again, for those curious about our Game 3 coverage in the losers bracket, the elimination game, we will put up the broadcast link for the losers bracket game as soon as this game ends. We don't know who's playing yet. We know that RCSJ Gloucester is going to be one of them, and we would presume they're the home team because they are the higher seed, but we'll get clarification on that as the 3-2 from Mokienko is a ground ball. This one's put in play to third, picked up by Hudson. He'll fire this one across the diamond. It's in time, beat him by a step. And there's one away. So that will bring up Ryan Adams for out number 1. That's Pizzuti now 0 for 3.
The catcher, number 22, Ryan Adams.
So Adams batting with nobody on, one away. 6-4 Camden. Camden's runs have come in threes. They say good things come in threes, and Camden has done that so far tonight. 3 runs in the top of the third, 2-run home run by Billy Betliff. That one right into the glove. Look what I found, Nick Mokienko. Underhand flip, he got him. Out number 2. That ball just appeared in his glove on a sharp bounce, and the ball certainly does not slow down on the turf here at Rutgers Camden. As a 1-3 ground out retires Adams, he's now 0 for 3. As that's out number 2. Two outs, nobody on. Mokienko looking for a shutdown frame, and again, the ground ball out to second base. We were going to say pitchers really need to extend their workload in the playoffs. We saw it from Nick Anderson. We saw it today from Nick Mokienko. 5 innings, 4 runs allowed. Doesn't look like he's missed a beat. We go to the top of the 6th. It's 6-4 in favor of Camden.
Doubleheader reached first on an error in the first at-bat of Game 2. This one's lined into center field. Slider going over. He dives. Did he make the catch? Yes, he did. Ryan Slider makes the catch. Not on a slide, but instead on a dive. 2 away.
Top of the 6th inning here at the Camden Athletic Complex. Most days home to the Rutgers Camden Scarlet Raptors, but today it is the home of the Region 19 Final Four. As Chase Conway leads us off for Camden. 1, 2, and 3. It'll be Conway, Monteith, and Renteria in the top of the 6th. New pitcher, Gary John Perone, is out, and on the first pitch, he plunks Chase Conway. So another big boost for the Cougars as they get a plunk on pitch number 1 that the new pitcher in Luke Rocasano throws. Rocasano out of Christian Brothers Academy, the Colts in Lincroft, out of Spring Lake, New Jersey. He's had 8 starts this year. This is his first appearance out of the bullpen. 38 innings, 4.5 ERA, 1.58 whip, and 28 strikeouts. He's averaged 6.6 strikeouts per 9, a 1.58 whip, and a 257 batting average against. First pitch to 0-1 to Monteith is a ground ball out to short. This could be 2, 6, 4, 3. He got him. That's a big get back for Brookdale to get the double play. That's the second double play that the Cougars have grounded out to in this game, and it quickly takes away a lot of their hopes for the inning, as it'll bring up Renteria. Instead of Renteria. 2 on and nobody out or even play, he got him. 5-3, strong play at third base to end the inning. But we believe that they'll be the home team because they are the higher seed. But we'll get clarification when we return. Bottom of the 6th, a quick frame for the Jersey Blues. And it gets past everybody. Graham will go back to position with no goal scored. They'll count down the time out loud here. Out to the left. One final shot, and it gets through. How about a buzzer beater? How do you do? It's a lead extending goal for Justin Lewis. Ugly to end the day for Luke Pokrovsky. Little pop-up, first base side, he calls for it, and for the first time in 33 years, the Charlotte Cougars will hoist the trophy and face Middlesex on Monday. 4-3, Cougars win it. And in the battle of green and gold, the trophy stays true with the visitors. What a finish! And Shalleck will pack their bags for Middlesex and the Blue Jays when the weekend turns around to Monday.
Number 24, Casey Gardner.
Casey Gardner leads us off in the bottom of the sixth inning here from Rutgers Camden Athletic Complex. 8-9-1, Gardner versus Mokienko. First pitch. Misses low. 1 ball, no strikes. 8-9-1 for the Jersey Blues. It'll be Gardner, Tan, and Mulhern. One-0. Mokienko ready. Some folks getting loose in the Camden bullpen, but no active throwers yet. 6 runs, 7 hits, 1 error for Camden. Brookdale, 4 runs, 6 hits, no errors in the field. That's been the one thing that's helped Gary John Perrone with those deep fly balls, is that if Camden doesn't get it into the gap, you've got a lot of guys, especially in the infield, that have made some tough plays. That includes Pizzuti over at third base made a very strong play to end the inning on the last frame. As it's 2 balls, 1 strike to Gardner. Gardner is 2 for 2. He's led off 2 innings with 2 singles. Came around to score once. And a ground ball. This could be hit number 3, and it bounces off the glove of Hudson. Tough bounce. That should be a base hit. It'll go into left field. And Casey Gardner, it's Casey at the bat. He's got 3 base hits. Oh, they are going to call that an error. Never mind. I thought that they were going to call it a base hit for the tough hop, but they will call that an error.
Number 42, Ryan Tan.
So here is Tan. It'll be an E5 on Hudson. That's another 50-50 one. I don't know. I mean, it'll be the second error against Camden, but that also comes in for another difference between grass and turf, is the different playing surface definitely played a role in that play. If you think about it, if I'm correct, all 4 teams except for Middlesex play on natural grass. I'm actually not. Middlesex might also play on natural grass in their home field. I just know that they've been expanding their program a lot, and they're going to be, I think, having some multi-use field with Rutgers soon in Edison, if I'm correct. But the point is that I know for a fact that Camden County, Brookdale, and RCSJ Gloucester play on natural grass fields. And the pertinent party at fault here is Camden. So if you want to boil it down to that ball was going to be fielded differently on the grass field. As a foul tip makes it 0-2 to Tan. Tan is 0 for 2. Fly out to center field in the second inning, grounded out to second base in the 4th. He'll be followed by Ray Mulhern, who, as we said, has had a knack for his speed. Has a base hit and an RBI in the game. It's a throwback to first. He's put the ball in play every time. Single in the first inning, ground out to second in the second, and a sacrifice fly to right field in the 4th inning. But in the bottom of the 6th of game 2, here's the 0-2. Upstairs, Tan shuffling his feet in the box. Little Juan Soto style there. Don't see too many players wearing number 42 either. At least not since it was retired in Major League Baseball. Even though it was never really retired everywhere outside of Major League Baseball, it definitely was something that kind of got phased out with the generations just because of the legacy of Jackie Robinson. There was a player on Salem High School's team. His name was Terrell Robinson, and he wore number 42 with the connotation of his last name. And of course, when Major League Baseball retired 42 league-wide in 1997, there were at least, I think it was 13 players who were wearing it, and they were all grandfathered in. The most notable of the bunch was Mariano Rivera, who wore it until 2013. There was also Mo Vaughn, a slugging first baseman, a relic of the steroid era from the Boston Red Sox before David Ortiz got there. He wore number 42, I believe, until his retirement in 2004. The 1-2. Breaking ball, appeal to first, no. 2-2. Two balls, two strikes, nobody out. Runner on first thanks to an error off the bat of Casey Gardner. 2-2 from Okienko. Breaking ball outside from his knees. Milligan's throw is wide, and it's a stolen base for Casey Gardner. Not easy at all. I was surprised Milligan rushed that throw. That could have been trouble if that ball got away from the shortstop. The count's full. I mean, obviously, that's not where he was aiming for the ball to go, but Brookdale looking for some magic as they trail this one by 2 runs. Putting up the magic fingers. I love junior college baseball for moments like that. That's great. The 3-2. Tan pops it up, way up there. Mokienko doesn't see it. Hudson does, and he makes the play, out number 1. So Hudson redeems himself from the error by making that pop fly catch for the first out of the inning. We go back to the top of the order for Ray Mulhern.
The Jersey Blues, number 5, Ray Mulhern.
Again, Dan Wilkins Broadcasting has coverage of all Region 19 Final Four games across Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. We'll be here at 12 noon tomorrow for the winner's bracket first game between Middlesex and whoever wins this game. It could be Middlesex and Camden, could be Middlesex and Brookdale, who knows. But it'll be game 5 after that for, I believe, the 1-1s, and then there's another loser's bracket game. I'd have to look at the schedule. Double elimination brackets, I don't know if just my brain doesn't register it properly, but double elimination brackets just don't make sense in my head, so I'd have to read off the bracket to you. But let's make it simple for you. 3 games today, 3 games tomorrow. Championship game 1 is on Saturday, and if a team goes 3-0, we got time called. The third base umpire, Bricado, called time, and nobody noticed for a second. It had to do with something down the right field line in the bullpen. Yeah, it was a loose ball down the line. There is a southpaw warming up for Camden. That's looks like number 29, Larry Crossley. No balls, 1 strike. Bunt, out in front of the mound. Letting it roll. Oh! Well, how about that for a suspenseful baseball? Bunt, single, Ray Mulhern. That was a matter of inches, and you can't get much better than that. As John Scanzano will come out. Apologies. That is number 23, Mike Falls, who is warming up in the bullpen for Camden County. And with that, John Scanzano will come out to talk to Nick Mokienko. Mokienko came into this game with a sub-1 ERA and a sub-2 ERA, a sub-1 whip. And he had a pretty good stat line for him with 14 walks, 72 Ks, and 60 innings. He's been a high-leverage, high-usage guy for Camden County. And now DeCostanzo will come out to try to break this one up. Gardner got to third. Mulhern with the base hit. There's 1 out. And now the home plate umpire trying to interject. He's having some words here with DeCostanzo. 1 out, 2 on. Tying run is on first base, and the batter is the lefty, Dawson Smale. Camden 6, Brookdale 4 here in the first round. Well, not in the first round, but in the second game of the Final Four between the Camden County Cougars and Brookdale. Thought the runner would have gone there, at least Milligan did, because he pump faked to second base when that ball was out, but he ended up not going, and it's 1-0. One ball, no strikes. Mokienko looks at his wrist. I don't know if he's checking the time, but we'll tell you he's checking the pitch, the 1-0. Ground ball into right field, a base hit. In front of Monteith, run scores. Runner holds at second. Di Matteo didn't apply a tag. It's an RBI single for Dawson Smale. And it's now 6-5 in favor of Brookdale.
Gary John Perot.
So here's Gary John Perone. First pitch is up and away. One ball, no strikes. Popped up foul by Gary Perone. Perone, of course, the subject of some controversy earlier in the game, but not really his fault. If you missed the delay, the extensive delay, Nico Marabo was pinch hit for when he was injured in the top of the fourth inning. Gary John Perone came in for him, and John Scanzano put the game under protest. And again, we don't know if he is proceeding with his protest, but more or less what the argument was, the focal point of the argument was that he was contesting that you were not allowed to hit for the pitcher in a spot outside of the designated hitter's position. Now, what it was is that Gary John Perone was the starting pitcher but did not have a spot in the batting order. As there's a swing and a miss, 2-2. But he hit in place of Marabo, and what they did is they moved the DH to left field. So what this now means, though, is that Brookdale did forfeit the DH for the rest of the game. So instead of it being Tomei on deck, it is now going to be the pitcher, Rocasano, who will hit for Tomei. The 2-2. That one's up. So this will be quite the interesting situation with 3 balls and 2 strikes, 1 away. Rocasano only has 1 at bat all year, and that was back in April. As the 3-2 is a line drive foul down the right field line, and it went right into the glove of Falls down the right field line. The 1 at bat that Rocasano had prior to today was on April the 11th versus Bergen County College in a game that Brookdale won 14-9. So assuming there's no double play and he bats, that'll just be his 2nd of the year. That one's fouled back, still 3-2. That's one of Johnny Johnson's catchphrases. Nobody better than you, and let's go, let's go, let's go. There's a reason why Johnny Johnson has 900 wins and has been in countless different Hall of Fame classes. 3 balls, 2 strikes. The pitch. Line drive. That one goes to second. On to short. He gets away. Here comes Mulhern. The game is tied. 6-6. Thrown away by Colin Thompson. And what an awkward situation for the right-hander Luke Rocasano. So the pitcher Luke Rocasano, who has only had 1 at bat this season back in April versus Bergen.
Stepping to the batter's box for Brookdale, the pitcher Luke Rocasano.
He will bat. I wonder if with a runner on his command, he's either not going to swing or he's just going to bunt. I remember this happened one time. Well, not that I remember, but I remember a story of this happening one time back in the 90s. It was with Cleveland. They had a game where Charles Nagy, who, remember, up until there was never a time where pitchers consistently hit in the American League. There was a discrepancy in the lineup card, and Charles Nagy had to hit 7th because there was a discrepancy with the designated hitter. So this is kind of like that, except they forfeited the DH, and they're not going to pinch hit him because that means you have to go out of the game. Here comes a bunt. Back up the mound. He might beat this out. Rocasano is out at first. He did his job. I'll tell you, that might be one of the strangest situations we've seen in a while. Luke Rocasano, his second plate appearance, and he moves the go-ahead run to third base. 90 feet away. How about that? He did his job. I told you he was either not going to swing or he was going to drop down a bunt, and he did the latter. As it's a 1-3 sacrifice. It's out number 2. Strike called, 0-1. Four runners have come on for Brookdale, but we're tied at 6 in game 2 of 3 here in Rutgers Camden's baseball complex, the Camden Athletic Complex. It's 0-2. They've done some renovations to these fields. They've put in more firm backstops. It's no longer just the chain link fence. They've put Rutgers Camden logos in left field and right field. They've put distance markers on the foul lines, 311 to right, 330 to left. And Pizzuti with an overextended swing on 0-2. If the inning continues, Ryan Adams will be after him. Two runs across for Brookdale to tie the game. Gardner came in on a base hit. And then an E6 off the bat of Gary Perrone brought in the tying run. The 0-2. Swing and a miss. Nick Mokienko with a huge strikeout to end the inning, but the game is tied. An RBI error off the bat of Gary John Perrone, and Pizzuti strikes out. It's the second time Pizzuti struck out today, and it's strikeout number 2 for Mokienko. The only man that he's carved down has been that third baseman. We go to the 7th, 6-6 tie game. And it gets past everybody. Graham will go back to position with no goal scored. They'll count down the time out loud here. Out to the left. One final shot, and it gets through. How about a buzzer beater? How do you do? It's a lead extending goal for Justin Lewis.
Will lead it off for the Senators. Chase Rollins, the player manager for CHP, gets it started with a ball upstairs, and we are underway in game 1. 1-0.
Winston Yates leads us off for Camden in the top of the 7th inning. It's a 6-6 tie game. Let's run you through what happened so far. In the bottom of the 1st inning, Nico Marabo had a 2-run double and another run scored on an error on the next batter to give Brookdale a 3-0 lead. Camden tied the game in the top of the 3rd, starting off with an RBI double by Winston Yates and then a 2-run home run by Billy Bentliff. Camden then retook the lead, Brookdale took the lead 4-3 in the bottom of the 4th inning on an RBI single, and then Camden got 3 more runs back in a monotonous 5th inning that saw 3 walks, and then a 3-run double off the bat of Cole Hudson to give them a 6-4 lead. Brookdale just tied the game 6-6 on a handful of RBIs in the bottom of the 6th inning. So now last 9 outs for both sides here in the Region 19 Final Four. Again, winner plays Middlesex on Friday at 12 noon, first game of the day. And then the loser will play Rowan College of Gloucester. That was upset by Middlesex 13-5. That's a 2-1. Beautiful pitch there from Rocasano. It's 2-2. Can't ask for much more than that. And it's 2-2. Yates, Bentliff, and Thompson. Swing and a miss. He got him. Rocasano picks up his second strikeout. That's out number 1. So Bentliff, who had that 2-run home run back in the third to tie the game, will be the batter. 6 runs, 7 hits, 3 errors in the field for Camden. 6 runs, 8 hits, and none in the field for Brookdale. And even though they haven't had any errors, there have been some miscues that we can make note of, as that ball is going to go through the right side into right field, a base hit. Billy Bentliff attacks the first pitch, goes the other way, and gets himself a single here with 1 out in the 7th. So it'll be Colin Thompson now.
Now batting for Camden, the second baseman, number 7, Colin Thompson.
Thompson, the second baseman, he's 0 for 2, fly out, strikeout, and a walk so far. Here's the first pitch. Outside to Adams, or from Adams to Thompson. Camden County mimicking some Florida State over there as the 1-0. Fouled back, 1-1. Although I guess it's not just Florida State, it's the Kansas City Chiefs and the Atlanta Braves and all the rest of them. 1 ball, 1 strike. Runner on first, throwback by Rocasano. It's not in time. Runner came back in diving. Again, it'll take us about 30 minutes between games today, as you don't have to turn over the field. There's a swing and a miss. Big swing, big throw, and he airmails everybody except for the second baseman. Stolen base for Billy Bentliff. And Adams will now go out to talk to Rocasano. I mean, that ball was a few inches away from getting into center field. A very strong throw by Adams, but it's a stolen base for Bentliff. As we said, Camden is 3rd in the nation in stolen bases. They have 200 exactly. Salem leads the nation with 265. 263, and then Northern Essex is in 2nd with 225. Behind them is Dallas Eastfield at 192 and Jefferson at 190. Swing and a miss. Out number 2. There's 2 away as Thompson with a bad swing that time. It'll bring up Hudson, who had the 3-run double back in the 5th. The hustle and bustle of Philadelphia and Camden continues, not just for the players on the field, but for the folks overlooking from the train. I said it in the first game. I haven't mentioned it in the second game, but I've said before that when you take the Patco over from Philadelphia into Camden, you can see the field very clearly from out the window, if you're sitting on the right side of the train, that is. You can't see it on the other way over, on the way to Philadelphia. But now throwing behind the batter. Throw to third, not in time. He got in there. Close play at third, but just barely getting in there is Bentliff. And he now steals 2 bases and is now 90 feet away from being the go-ahead run. Two balls, no strikes. From Rocasano to Hudson. Had that 3-run double in the 5th. He's going to be looking for not just another go-ahead RBI, but one in an even bigger spot, as it's 2-1. 2 balls, 1 strike. That one's outside 3-1. 6-6. Camden and Brookdale all knotted up here in the top of the 7th inning from the Camden Athletic Complex. 3 balls, 1 strike, and a strike on the inside corner. 3-2. 2 outs. Runner on third. Bentliff is the runner. He is standing almost on top of John Scanzano's coaching box. Trailing off of third. The 3-2. Lined into center field. This could drop, and it will. Bentliff scores. RBI single, Cole Hudson. And it's 7-6. 4 RBIs for the third baseman, Cole Hudson. And Camden now leads this one 7-6 on Hudson's second hit of the game and his 3rd time on base.
The catcher, Aiden Milligan.
Had the 3-run double in the 5th, and as we said, he got that go-ahead run, and it comes at an even better time in the top of the 7th inning. And Brookdale now will change hands with the lead for Brookdale. Let's see. Brookdale took the lead. That was 1. Camden tied it. That was 2. Then Brookdale took the lead. That was 3. Camden took the lead back. That was 4. And then Brookdale took the lead again. That's 5. Camden takes the lead again. That's now 6 lead changes in this game. There's a strike called. We had a game between Ocean City and Audubon some years ago. Not some years ago, some months ago. It was in April of this year. That was 12-11, and the game's lead exchanged hands 9 times. And it was Audubon's Jude Cotter who had a walk-off single to win that one. That was the consolation prize of the Ralph Shaw Classic. 1 ball, 2 strikes, and the pitch. That one's away. 2-2. The 2-2. Fly ball, right field. This one's hit up towards straightaway right. Going over is Gardner, and he'll make the play. Side retired. But Camden takes the lead on an RBI single off the bat of Cole Hudson. He's got 4 RBIs today. And we go to the bottom of the 7th. Stretch time here in Camden. 7-6 in favor of the Cougars. New pitcher for Camden County is Mike
Now
Falls,
pitching for
the left-hander.
Camden, number 23, Jason Hall.
Oh, no, never mind. I apologize. That is not.
Leading off for Brookdale, the catcher,
I
Ryan
apologize.
Adams.
Number 23 was listed as Mike Falls. That is Jason Hall, the left-hander who graduated from Gloucester City last year, was a big part of their 2024 championship run to South Jersey Group 1 stardom. Camden took the lead 7-6 as a strike is called. Lefty-lefty matchup to open up the frame. So Jason Hall, the freshman, in. As this ball's fouled down the left field line. Hall, a 5.27 ERA, 11 appearances, 3 starts, and a nice slider outside, 1 and 2. 2.16 whip in 27 and a third innings, 24 Ks, 1-1 win-loss record. In the bottom of the 7th, it's 6, 7, and 8. Adams, Diffley, and Gardner as Brookdale looks to get back into this, and they're going to get it back with one swing. Look out below. This game is tied. Ryan Adams with a moonshot to right underneath the Ben Franklin, and it's 7-7. The first home run that Brookdale has launched out of the yard today. Look out below. No doubt about that one as Ryan Adams ties the game with a leadoff home run off of Jason Hall. Lefty-lefty matchup, a big swing, a big moment, and we are tied at 7. Here's the first pitch. That one's outside, 1-0. To another lefty in Diffley. He's 0 for 3. Another strike call, then it's 1-1. For Adams out of West Babylon, there's a ground ball to Thompson. Picked up on the run, throw to first is in time. That's out number 1. That was the 10th home run of the season for Ryan Adams as he launched that ball to right field.
Next hitter for the Jersey Blues, number 24, Casey Gardner.
Would be really funny if this game went to extra innings. Just saying. I mean, got 2 more to go after this one, but we had a 12-inning marathon in last year's first round as that one misses. Again, going over to schedule with you guys. The first game of the day, Middlesex topped RCSJ by a score of 13-5. Middlesex led pretty much the entire way as that one misses. 2-0 on a curveball inside from Hall. We talk about win or go home. This is win and go home. So whoever wins this game will get to play Middlesex on Friday at noon tomorrow. I keep thinking today's Friday, but Friday at noon for the first game of the winner's bracket. And if you lose, you got to stay. You got to stick around as the 2-1 is low. 3 balls, 1 strike. Now the only difference is that if you're RCSJ, you get a 3-hour break. You get to rest, relax, stretch a lot more. Camden and Brookdale, whoever loses this game is going to be thrown straight into the fire with minimal turnover between games 2 and 3 as that ball misses. Ball 4 to Gardner, and the go-ahead run is on. And Ryan Tan will be the batter in his 4th at-bat of the day. He's 0 for 3.
Next for the Jersey Blues, the second baseman, number 42, Ryan Tan.
So here's Tan, runner on, misses inside. Tan declines to wear it. It's 1-0. Misses that time, 2-0. Tan with a two fly out, ground out, and a pop out. Two balls, no strikes to Tan. We'll go back to the top of the order for Mulhern after him. Another ball inside from Hall. And another right-hander is warming up in the bullpen for Camden. That is number 16, Jack Wolfson, a product of Highland. 3 balls, no strikes. 1 away, go-ahead run on first. Breaking ball called a strike, right at the knees. Yeah, not going to get any leverage on a 3-0. There is a left-hander warming up for Brookdale, but he does not have a jersey number, so we're not sure who that is. And Tan takes the ball and no sooner launches his bat to the Brookdale dugout. It's back-to-back walks for Hall. And this could really be the tipping point here because Scanzano has to be careful. If you use too many pitchers, you're going to be out of gas in game 2 if you have to make it there. But at the same time, they will take the baseball from Jason Hall. So a tying home run, a launch shot by Ryan Adams. It'll be Jack Wolfson coming in for Camden. When we return, bottom of the 7th inning, 2 on, 1 away, and Hall out.
Mulhern.
Ray Mulhern bats with the go-ahead run in scoring position. Jack Wolfson, the new pitcher, 9.64 ERA in 11 appearances. 14 innings, a 1.86 whip, and 17 strikeouts. Mulhern, the 5th batter of the inning, only 1 out, with Wolfson, the Highland grad, facing the 1, 2, and 3 batters in a tie game in the 7th inning. Runners go. Double steal. Mulhern with an exasperated swing at the last second, able to make contact. Maybe he thought that Milligan had a chance at one of the runners, and it's 0-1. 7 runs and 9 hits for both sides. Brookdale tied the game on a launched shot by Ryan Adams. The 0-1. Mulhern takes a strike inside corner, 0-2. Wolfson at a 2.26 ERA in high school with Highland. Fly ball, right field. This one's down the line, going over. Monteith makes the catch. Runner from second tags. They won't have a play at third. And the go-ahead run moves up to 90 feet from scoring. As the line out to right moves Gardner to third. Tan holds at first. And the number 2 batter in Dawson Smale. Well struck fly ball by Mulhern for what it's worth. Haven't seen him hit a ball. I mean, he has hit the ball mostly the other way today. Had a single that was off the end of the bat in the first inning, grounded out to second in the second. Sac fly to right in the fourth. A base hit in the sixth that I believe was also the other way. If not, it was right back up the middle. And then a fly out to right in the seventh. In the top of the eighth for Camden, it will be DiMatteo, Conway, and Monteith. 9-1 and 2. The 1-0. That one's low. Gets away. Milligan able to trap it with the chest protector. And I don't mean to be a, rude with my business model, but it seems like we may get some more viewers tonight because the Phillies are in a rain delay. Apparently it's pouring rain up in Boston, so maybe some rain delay programming is Camden and Brookdale Junior College Baseball. Throw back to first. Oh. I feel about everybody on Camden's side just had their heart drop for a second as Winston Yates brought that one down. It was a high throw, but that was a stomach churning about 2 seconds there to see if Yates would bring that one down. 2-0 from Wolfson. Go-ahead run on third in Casey Gardner. And a strike is called. 2-1. The RCSJ team is waiting behind us for their game. And more importantly for them, they're waiting to see who loses, because that's who they will face, and they won't know until the final pitch. There's a line drive into right field, a base hit. That gets off the glove into right center field. Smale to second, rounding third is Tan. 2 runs across, and the biggest swing of them all is a triple off the bat of Dawson Smale. 9-7 Brookdale. A transformative inning for the Jersey Blues as a triple to right center field. And a bad bounce. Well, it's not a bad bounce, it's an unlucky one.
Number 3, Gary John Perone.
And that ends up being costly for Ian Monteith as a 2-run triple to right field after walking twice. It's the second hit of the day for Smale. It scores Gardner and Tan. And it's now 9-7 as the 10th hit is a 10 out of 10 swing. 1 ball, no strikes.
Number 20, Luke Rocasano.
So they'll put Gary John Perone on first base. And here is Rocasano. Yeah, willing to reoccupy the first base there as they want to face the pitcher. And they know that they don't want to take Rocasano out of the game. I don't mind it. No balls, 1 strike. Runner goes inside, and it's 1-1. Perone will steal second. That one's low, 2-1. So Rocasano, when he hit for his first at bat since April 11th, in a month and 3 days, he had a sacrifice bunt 1-3, moved the runners over. And if the inning continues after him, it'll be Pizzuti. Swing and a miss. But you can't really bunt here because, I mean, there's 2 outs, 2 runners on. This might be an Archie Bradley moment if he's able to get this ball down for a hit off of Jack Wolfson. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The pitch to the pitcher is outside. I could tell you, for a guy that's only had 3 plate appearances, he's got a good eye. Like we said, he had 1 at-bat versus Bergen, a game that Brookdale won 14-9. And the count is full. 3 balls, 2 strikes, with a man that's not usually at the plate, but a man usually throwing to those that are. Wolfson, the Rocasano, the 3-2, and it's ball 4. Rocasano with the freest of free passes as the pitcher walks. And the batter will be Pizzuti. The bases are loaded. Scanzano not too thrilled about that one not being strike 3. It's 9-7. Brookdale over Camden as that one goes up near Pizzuti's head. And you can't pinch run for him either. This isn't like high school. You got to stay in the game until the job is done. 1-0 count. The pitch outside, 2-0. But Brookdale's going to be conservative here. I mean, again, Wolfson coming into this game with a 9 ERA hasn't been his cleanest. But he's looking to limit the damage. He came in for Jason Hall, who did not complete more than a third of an inning. Strike call, 2-1. 9th batter of the inning for Brookdale, 3 runs across. Game was tied on a solo home run by Ryan Adams. 2 walks were allowed before he was taken out of the game. 2-run triple by Dawson Smale was the second batter that Wolfson faced. That one's low, it gets away. Runner will come in, it hits off the dugout. Run scores, and it's now 10-7 as the ball took an awfully bad carom off of Aiden Milligan. And it's now a 3-run lead for Brookdale. They've now scored 6 runs in the last 2 innings. And you gotta feel for Camden because this game, by the skin of its teeth, is slipping away from them at every moment. Smale came in to score. Rocasano now moves to second, and Gary Perrone is on third base. And you don't want to face Adams, who had that home run to start the inning, but they will. They won't have a choice but to face Ryan Adams. And now John Scanzano is coming out. Is he going to call for his third pitcher of the inning? Because Hall started the inning, and then Wolfson took over, and they're waiting for the right field bullpen. That is number 21, Michael Monera, the Clayton product, who's going to come in. He's the 3rd pitcher of the inning for Camden County and a part of a very strong duo of brothers who played over at Clayton just a few years ago. Wolfson comes out of the game. It's ultra protection time. When we return, Camden, they've got the bases loaded versus Brookdale. Brookdale's got a 3-run lead. Jersey is the number 2 seed. As we said, they beat Manville 19-0 in the first round, which was even larger than Audubon's 16-0 win over Paulsboro as the 1 seed in the first round. That one's hit out towards center field straight away. Oh, she misjudged it. Got over her head in center field. Now this one's got a chance to be 3 bases for Spire. She's flying around third. Here comes the throw to the plate. It is not in time. What a way to kick off a semifinal with an inside the park home run. Emma Spire, who will take her talents to the Great Danes after 2026, lights up the scoreboard with a fly ball that got misjudged in center field.
Doubleheader reached first on an error in the first at-bat of Game 2. This one's lined into center field. Slider going over. He dives. Did he make the catch? Yes, he did. Ryan and slider. Makes the catch. Not on a slide, but instead on a dive. 2 away.
Now pitching for Camden, number 21, Michael Manera.
Michael Manera in a new pitcher as he'll face
Batter for the Jersey Blues,
Ryan
the pitcher,
Adams.
Ryan Adams.
Manera with a 5.81 ERA as a freshman. That ERA has jumped up to 8.54 as a sophomore. 26 and a third innings for him. He's allowed 34 hits, walked 5, struck out 16, 5.47 strikeouts per 9. But he threw 26 and a third as a freshman. He's thrown 26 and a third as a sophomore, and the bases are loaded for the dangerous hitter in Ryan Adams, who homered to lead off the inning. Strike is called on the changeup from Manera. I mean, if I'm Manera, I'm trying to throw as delicately as I can, because a bad miss could be the difference between a solo home run and a grand slam, because it was just a bad miss in the first at bat. And this ball's fouled back. He was just a little bit late on it, and it's 0-2. It would be huge to see Manera get out of the inning, for sure, in terms of Camden's hopes of getting back into the game. But they'll bat 9, 1, and 2 in the 8th. DiMatteo, Conway, and Monteith. Those hitters combined have 2 hits, and those 2 hits both come from Ian Monteith. All 3 runners, though, have reached base for those batters due up. As this ball's hit well, but I think he got under it. Out to center field. Running in, it's out to the triangle, and Thompson makes the catch to end the inning. A huge way to get out of what seemed like an inescapable jam, as Adams pops out to second base to end the inning. Through 7, Ryan Adams led off the inning with a home run out to right center field, and then a 2-run triple by Dawson Smale gave them the lead. Through 7, it's Brookdale 10 and the Cougars 7. Top of the 8th inning, Rocasano still in for Camden. It's a 3-run lead. It'll be Matt DiMatteo of Haddon Heights leading us off. 9, 1, and 2. Matt DiMatteo, followed by
the inning for the Cougars, number 2,
the leadoff man Chase Conway and Ian Monteith. DiMatteo was hit by a pitch, and he struck out in his last 2 at-bats. He's 0 for 2. 10-7. Brookdale scored 4 runs in the 7th as this ball's fouled back off the netting. It's 0-1. Ryan Adams launched a home run to right field to open up the inning as 10 batters came across all told. Adams started the inning, and then he ended the inning on a pop out to second base. But a 2-run triple to right by Dawson Smale gave Brookdale the lead. But Camden, in a game that has been back and forth and you never know which way it's going to turn next, It's been a stomach-churning game for the fans of both parties as the 1-1 is up and away. There's been controversy. There's been contest. There's even been protest in this game as John Scanzano had a pertinent issue with Gary John Perrone hitting in the spot of Nico Marabo all the way back in the third inning. We don't know anything about what has come of that. They got the umpires on the phone with somebody of higher authority, and they seem to have settled it, but at the same time, the umpire told Scanzano, he said, you can protest if you wish to proceed. Out number 1 as DiMatteo goes down on strikes. It's the third strikeout out of the bullpen for Rocasano.
Right fielder number 5, Chase Conway.
And the batter is now Chase Conway. He struck out twice. He's just had an unlucky bout tonight. He's 0 for 3, pardon. 2 strikeouts in the first and second innings. Both at bats he worked the count full, but in the second inning his strikeout came with the bases loaded. Not to mention when he went to at bat in the fourth, he grounded into a 5-4-3 double play. And when he came to at bat in the sixth, he got hit, but was immediately retired by the next batter's double play. So it has not been Chase Conway's best day, and now is no better time to redeem it as he takes upstairs 3-0. In the bullpen for Brookdale is the southpaw number 21, Sam Hirschman. He would be the third pitcher of the day following Luke Rocasano, and that's going to be a strike called. Zone expanded a little bit on 3-0 as it's now a 3-1 count. 3 balls, 1 strike. And the pitch. That one is high. No mistaking that one. It's a 5-pitch walk. It's the second time that Conway's reached on base, and we'll see if he's able to stay on base here in the top of the 8th inning. 3-run lead for Brookdale. It's Ian Monteith, the batter. Ball, 1-0. Conway on first base, and he takes that one, 2-0. Johnny Johnson immediately gets up from his chair. He's going to call time here. He'll bring in the infield on a mound visit here for Rocasano. So he said there is a left-hander warming up in the bullpen. I apologize. That's number 25. That is Matt Desidero, who's in the bullpen for Brookdale, not Sam Hirschman. Misread the number down the line. But with Johnson vacating the mound, it's 2 balls, no strikes, 1 away. And the tying run would be on deck if Monteith reaches. The sophomore out of Kingsway, 2 hits and a walk for him today. He scored twice. This ball is launched to left, but a little bit too far left. It's foul, and it's 2-1. That ball was a lot like Winston Yates' double back in the third inning. It's one where you think that it's gone off the bat, and then it just doesn't have it. And in this case, it was too far to the side, too far out of play. The 2-1. Oh, did it hit him? Monteith is not contesting it. Wow. Dare I say Brookdale got a lucky break that time because Monteith jumped out of the way. He's not arguing that he was hit. He just jumped out of the way at the wrong time. The 2-1. And a swing and a foul tip goes through the catcher and the umpire. 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes. 1 away. Conway on first. Rocasano exhales and delivers. Fly ball foul down the right field line. This one will be headed towards Delaware Street. Still 2-2. Again, we've got one more game today. Hard to believe, right? We started at noon. The first pitches were scheduled for 12, 3, and 6. It's now 6:30, and we're going to have 30 minutes between games 2 and 3. So we're going to be here a while. The 2-2. Runner goes. Grounder foul. Still 2-2. Can hear the river line coming to a screeching halt behind us. Monteith still hopping on that right foot after getting nicked on that foul ball. Ben DiCostanzo, the home plate umpire, and the crew chief making sure he's okay. Two. Rocasano delivers. Swing and a miss, he got him. Big strikeout, Rocasano. That was huge. And Chase Renteria, the DH, will bat in the 3 slot for Camden with 4 outs remaining on the Camden allocation.
The designated hitter, Chase Renteria.
It's Chase Renteria, the batter. Runner goes. Ball is low. Adams picks it out of the dirt. It hits the runner, and it gets away in the left center field. Conway hops up, but he won't have a play. 10 is able to save it before any more trouble arises. And Conway steals second base. I've said it like a broken record tonight, but again, this is what we are very much used to out of Camden. They're one of 3 teams in the nation to have 200 or more stolen bases in Division III. It's Salem at 263, Northern Essex at 225, and then Camden came into this game with 200. And if they've got to play 2, you can be sure that they'll have plenty more up their sleeve. 2 balls, no strikes. The 2-0. Ground ball, tough play. Tan is there, catches it at the chest, throw to first is, it's in time, tough play, and the inning is over. A bang-bang play at first, and Renteria is retired to end the inning. We go to the bottom of the 8th. It's 10-7, Brookdale. Welcome back. A bang-bang play at first ended the inning as we go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Time for Brookdale to get some insurance runs, as it'll be Tom Diffley leading it off. Really close play at first. It's been a very close call-filled game. That one misses. Popped up foul. It's 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Monera, the 1-1. Diffley laces it. Thompson catches it as it falls back to him, and the throw to first is in time. Tough play. And that's out number 1. So Diffley retired, 7, 8, 9. Gardner and then
Stepping to
Tan.
the batter's box for the Jersey Blues, number 24, Casey Gardner.
Every time I hear the word Casey, I think of, at least in a baseball contest, I think of Casey at the bat. Which, of course, is one of the most famous pieces of poetry related to baseball. Featured prominently in many vaudeville performances in the late 1800s, early 1900s. I would say that Casey at the bat is probably the second most famous piece of writing related to baseball outside of Take Me Out to the Ball Game, which, funny enough, was written by 2 gentlemen who had never seen a baseball game at the time that they wrote the song, the 1-0. And it wasn't played until 1943 in the World Series. When the Brooklyn Dodgers were hosting, they played it in Game 3 of the 1943 World Series. And it really only became a staple of baseball games that played 9 innings, of course, in the 1950s and 60s, the 2-0. There's a line drive. That's in the left field. Gardner with a base hit. That's his 3rd hit. He's reached base all 5 times. A walk, an error, and now 3 singles for Casey at the bat. And it'll bring up Ryan Tan. But Casey at the
Second
bat
baseman, number 42, Ryan Tan.
was written in 1888. Ernest Thayer wrote the poem. If you're a dabbler in American literature, or American poetry for that matter. As Tan, 0 for 3, as a strike called. When we're doing 3 baseball games, 27 innings, sometimes you have to find a way to pass the time. So I apologize if us talking about the intricacies of a poem from 1888 isn't your cup of tea, but there's only so much baseball we can talk about. And one of the things about commentating baseball, as it counts 1-0 to Tan, 1-1 to Tan, is that you really need a big circle of context to call a baseball game. You know, you need to talk about the world around you. You need to talk about factors outside of the game and the history of the game. Baseball is arguably the oldest sport in North America. I mean, it's certainly the oldest professional league. As that ball's laced into right center field, this could get down, and it does. Taking it on a hop, flailing with a throw is Bentliff. Down to third is Gardner. Tan with a base hit. It's his first hit of the game, and it puts some much-needed insurance runs on the base paths as we go back to the top of the order for Ray Mulhern.
Top of the order for the Jersey Blues, number 5, Ray Mulhern.
Back-to-back singles off of Monera. Now Camden County's pitching coach will come out. So this game started at 3:35, and we're now in the bottom of the 8th inning, and it's over a 3-hour game. Honestly, I don't think I've seen a junior college game that's under 2 hours and 30 minutes. With all the stoppages and the delays, not to mention the fact that it's a high-scoring game. I mean, let's be real. There's not as many quality teams with pitching in junior college as there are in NCAA Division III. I think the lowest scoring junior college baseball game I've ever seen was like 5-1. Every game is like this. Back and forth if they're 2 good teams, and heck of a lopsided game if it's not. But as the sun shines through, Ray Mulhern will bat. 2 on, 1 out. Runners on the corners. But back to the top of the lineup for Mulhern, who has 2 hits and an RBI. 2 singles, a sacrifice fly in the 4th inning. Called a strike, 0-1. On Sunday, May the 17th, tune in for 3 more high school baseball games. Yes, if I call every game between today and Sunday, I will have called 11 games in 4 days. But we'll be at Maxwell Field in Wildwood for the Wildwood Strikeout Cancer Tournament. All 5 teams in Cape May County are competing in it. Wildwood, Wildwood Catholic, Cape May Tech, Lower Cape May, and Middle Township. And then the 6th wildcard team is Camden Tech out of Sicklerville, as that one's high, 1-1. We will have the semifinals of those games at 11 and 1:30, and then the championship game at 4. Again, permitting how long each game takes. Because we were supposed to be in Game 3 territory by now, but time is called. I believe time was called by the batter, Mulhern. Dawson Smale is on deck. Laced a 2-run triple to right center field in the 7th inning that gave Brookdale the lead, to which they have not relinquished yet. The 1-1. Ground ball out to short. It's going to go to Hudson at third. Run will score, and he's out. Bang, bang play. And Mulhern, that one, I think he was safe at first. I think he beat that one out, but Mulhern will be denied, and is out number 2.
7, Dawson Smale.
That was the 6th plate appearance for Mulhern. The batter is now Smale. First pitch to Smale in an 11-7 game as Brookdale extends their lead to 4. Line drive foul. Let's take a look at that play. The 5-3 ground out to Hudson. Take a look, see what we all think about this. So ground ball to third. Oh, I think he got in there. But still 0-1 to Smale. 2 hits for Smale, 2 walks, and 2 RBIs. A 2-run triple in the bottom of the 7th inning. But the sun shining through, a fair 65 degrees today. Not overly windy for what we're used to at Camden. 0-1 hit well out to center field. This one's sending lift back, moving up and making the catch to retire the side. Brookdale adds another. It's only 1 run, but it might be all they need as they lead Camden by 4 runs. Looking to send their ticket to Friday versus Middlesex. Top of the 9th inning.
Leading off for the Cougars, number 24.
Looking for a 9-out save will be Luke Rocasano. So, although actually I think he came in when Brookdale was trailing. So no, he would get the win. I apologize. And you cannot get a win and a save in the same game. So in that case, because he came in the 7th inning, it would be 9 outs, but because, yeah, Camden Camden had the lead at 7-6 in the top of the 7th inning. So would have to assume then he would get the win. So, and then the loss will be charged to, I believe, Manera. I think actually it might be Wolfson. Yeah, it would be Wolfson because he gave up that 2-run triple that gave Brookdale the lead. It's 11-7. 2 balls, no strikes, and a breaking ball misses at the letters. Winston Yates, the leadoff man. He had a ground rule double back in the 3rd inning. That set up Billy Bentliff for a 2-run home run that tied the game at 3. He is 1 for 4 in his 5th at bat. The 3-0. Takes strike called. Yates, Bentliff, and Thompson. 4, 5, and 6. (3-1). Strike called, 3-2. 7 runs, 9 hits, 3 errors for Camden. 11 runs, 12 hits, and no errors in the field for Brookdale, the number 2 seed in this tournament. If this holds, it will be Camden and Gloucester, with Gloucester as the home team in Game 3 as Yates goes down on strikes. Again, expect about a 30-minute break between games 2 and 3. They don't have to turn over the field. No farm equipment has to be used here. It's all turf. Every square inch of this place is turf. So the only thing that changes is the color of the surface. It's Billy Bentliff, the batter, had a 2-run home run in the 3rd inning, and he's been walked once, 3 hits. But because of the walk, he's 3 for 3. And that walk in the 5th inning was intentional. But Johnny Johnson looking to stay alive into Friday. Like I said, I keep thinking today's Friday because we started at noon, and we've done it before where it's Friday, Saturday, Sunday. But they really made the right call playing this tournament at Rutgers-Camden because, I mean, that's a foul tip, 1 and 2. I remember the first year that I covered the Final Four, I only did the championship day, and that was a Sunday, and it was at RCSJ Gloucester. And RCSJ had to play 3 games in one day. They beat Brookdale 7-5. There's an archive in our video clip somewhere of Max D'Alessandro, who's now at Towson, hit a 3-run home run to get RCSJ back in the game, and they won the game 7-5. And that was a long time ago. But the 2-2. Strike 3 called. Outside corner. Camden not too thrilled with that call as Bentliff goes down on strikes. As Thompson will be the batter. He's 0 for 3. But Camden won't have an easy road.
Now batting number 7, Colin Thompson.
Like we said, the difference between RCSJ and Camden is that RCSJ has about a 3-hour break, if not longer. They're going to have about a 3-hour, 30-minute break between games 1 and 3. And then Camden will only have about a 30-minute break. No balls, 1 strike. Because RCSJ's game ended at 2:55 as a ground ball to first. This could do it. Diffley is there. He'll take it to the pitcher, and that's the ball game. Brookdale wins it by a final score of 11-7 as they down Camden in Game 2 of the Region 19 Final Four. So get those dugouts ready. Get everything ready to get flipped on its head because Camden will face the Roadrunners in Game 3 with a final score of 11-7. Your player of the game will go to, I don't know who I want to give this to. Dawson Smale for 2 hits, 2 RBIs. Man, that's going to be tough. And I don't really want to give it to Gary Perrone. I think it's going to be Dawson Smale for the go-ahead 2-run triple. He's had some good plays in the field as well at short and no errors as well. So there's your final score, 11-7. We'll be back in about 30 to 35, maybe 40 minutes for Game 3 of 3 between Camden and RCSJ Gloucester.